Scene. Ooh, it's a new scene. Look at them apples. Yeah, we got a new overlay up there. I don't see any of the comments though. Hold up. Uh-oh. Why aren't they? There they are. All right. Only YouTube's going to show up on the stream today. But it's all new. New just for you.
How new is it?
So new, it's newer than yesterday.
It's pretty new.
It's new. Super new. By the way, that's Joe.
Hi. I work here.
Joe doesn't know that I have a face mask over him with a stupid mustache on the live stream.
You say stupid, I say it's just my voice.
Not all buyers will qualify for Ford credit financing. 72 months at $13.89 per month.
I wouldn't complain too much about or brag too much about Facebook. Facebook had more views yesterday than YouTube. It usually does have more views. It's just that live and YouTube is where it's at, man. It's just all there is to it. All right, here we go.
From the Mid-States Construction Studio. Mid-States Construction, one of the nation's leading authorized builders
of Nucor Building Systems on News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel, your breaking news and weather station.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-25-95-95.3. That is 25-95-953. And I just want to let you know in advance, I came in feeling awful, and then I ate some of the food at the Christmas party. I'm convinced we have a coworker terrorist who is trying to poison everybody. Because I ate something, I don't know, and I just do not feel good right now. So I'll do my best to get through all of this without throwing up all over Joe. But if that does happen, we have a camera on him today. So if you want to go to youtube.com/CaseyTheHost or Facebook.com/CaseyTheHost, you can watch as events unfold on both cameras. New stream format today, and still tweaking some things. I'll work on the chat because the chat like shows up and then it disappears a little bit, then it shows up, disappears. So I'll just tweak some settings here during the commercial breaks and get all of that stuff to work out so it stays present. But yeah, nice new look, little streamlined, that sort of thing. Go check it out. Do you want to thank our sponsor, Second Amendment Arms and Range, located in New Carlisle. Once again, you mentioned me, get half off your range time. Go to secondamendmentarms.net to learn more. All right, let's just start with Michigan. So Michigan is, as somebody put it in the live stream earlier, Michigan is going the way of the dodos. So, straws. We thought, well, not we, many of you, I knew this was coming to Michigan, thought that the straw ban and the black market for straws was going to be a thing that would stick to the coasts, but no. We have a Michigan lawmaker who wants to fine restaurants hundreds of dollars for handing out plastic straws. Just so you know. Michigan state lawmakers pushing 2 bills that would impose a hefty fine on distributing plastic straws unless requested, and then ban single-use plastic items such as cotton swabs, cutlery, and plates, according to the Michigan Capitol Confidential reports. Democratic state representative, I know you're all shocked it's a Dem, Tom Cochran introduced the pair of bills, House Bill 6504 and House Bill 6505 on November 27 to start a conversation about single-use plastics and the impact that they have on our environment, which he doesn't understand anyway himself, but naturally we're going to pass a law for it. Guarantee my bills are not going to get a hearing or any movement, he says. So, yeah, okay. Well, it's good that you're introducing stuff and wasting everybody's time. They're not going to get a hearing because they're dumb. And you're kind of stupid for introducing them and wasting everybody's time. There's more important things to deal with in the state of Michigan than trying to fine a restaurant for something that would take the most grotesque of individuals to even report. And then at that point, you have to provide some kind of proof. I don't know what kind of proof that's going to be, unless you're going to have a bunch of people walking into these restaurants just automatically recording all of the restaurant workers in order to catch them on camera offering a straw without getting any kind of request for the straw. Because how do you prove that? So somebody goes into a restaurant, and let's just say the restaurant gives them a straw, right? And that person goes, I didn't request that straw. And what do? They call the government. The government comes in, issues a fine. How does the government prove that case? Now, maybe they don't expect the government to have to prove that case. I don't know. But if I'm the restaurant, we go, didn't do anything. What are you talking about? How about if the straws are still in their containers? You don't have to take the straw out of its plastic or its paper. Like, you can leave it there, and then they will know that you don't want to use the straw, and then they can use the straw for somebody else. Like, that can happen. You don't have to actually just kind of mess this up. I don't remember the last time I had anybody ever bring me a drink with a straw already in it. Don't remember that happening at any point in any recent memory at any restaurant, fast food wise, sit down wise, or whatever. So again, stupid piece of legislation, doesn't do any good. I felt very strongly that I wanted to make a statement and hopefully move the conversation forward, and I'm working with my colleagues to hopefully get the issue taken up in the future. Why? Why? Everybody knows why there's this push to ban this straw thing in restaurants, right? Everybody knows why? Because a 9-year-old kid a couple of years ago did bad math. That's why. A 9-year-old kid started this a couple of years ago with bad math. And back then, when it came out and it was starting to get attention, we pointed out that the kids' numbers weren't right. Oh, and by the way, the straws that end up in waterways don't come from the United States. They don't even come from Europe. They come from the third world. That's where the straws in waterways come from. They don't come from the Western civilized world, because we tend to not throw plastic on the ground for the most part because, we're civilized. That's just kind of how things happen. We are not a bleep hole country, okay? So now, Bill 6504, maybe took that a little bit too far, but that's okay, it's Friday, would ban the sale of all single-use plastics by 2024. So my family's going to have nothing to eat on. Nothing. Because paper plates, plasticware. Like, when we run out of the paper plates and the plasticware is when we start busting out the normal stuff. That's when that happens. Oh, people are coming over. They're going to eat dinner with us. Yeah, cool. You get a paper plate too. Because I'm not going to clean up your mess. I don't clean up my own mess. And you're going to just leave it there and then take off. So I'm just going to throw it away. Well, don't you want to impress anybody? No, because we don't want them to come back. That's the whole point. When people want to come over and eat, we will have a tiny little meal that isn't very great in the hopes that they never want to come back and eat with us again. This is, I'm telling you right now, if you live your life this way, you're going to be much more happy. Anyway, Bill 6505 would charge restaurant owners with a misdemeanor. It's not even civil. Criminal? A misdemeanor for giving plastic straws to customers unless the customer explicitly requests one. How many kids does this guy have? because any server worth their salt sees a parent walk in with young kids and immediately throws the straws down on the table. So I'm assuming that this guy is either got no children or is a completely disconnected father. The misdemeanor penalty is unclear. One section says that those guilty of violating 6505 are, quote, punishable by a fine of $500 for each day that the law is violated. So that's a day, not instance. So I suppose you could have a straw amnesty day where the restaurant basically says, look, it's only a $500 fine today, so let's just hand out straws to everybody who comes in today in order to go ahead and prove a point with a protest, because it's only going to cost us $500 anyway. Another section says that a restaurant owner will be warned for the first 2 violations and then fined. Oh, okay. So they do get the $25 per violation after that, but no more than $300 annually. So you get $25 per violation, but not more than $300. So it doesn't do anything. I mean, restaurants sneeze $300 in napkins every single day. Cochran did not respond to requests for comment and clarification from the Daily Signal, probably because he knows he's being stupid here, and he doesn't want anybody who has any credible intelligence to talk to him about it because he's going to get embarrassed royally, because, again, this is dumb. 574-25-95-95-3. That's 2595-953. Ben, welcome to the program. Good afternoon.
Casey.
What's up?
Say it isn't so.
What say it isn't so?
Yeah, the straw thing.
Well, look, clearly Cochran has been partaking in the marijuana before the legality of it went into effect.
I would have your quote-unquote liberal friends, those who actually, the 1 or 2 people who listen to the show who actually go along with this stupid idea, I would have them to Google River of Trash, Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and just look at that. And if they're so upset about this straw epidemic or whatever, they need to get on the next flight down to Haiti and maybe help clean up that river of trash down there.
Well, remember, Haiti's not a bleep hole country, according to them. Now, the Haitians call it a bleep hole country. They went to Haiti and they asked a bunch of Haitians about it, and they go, "Oh, yeah, pretty much. It kind of sucks here."
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I see, unfortunately, like you, I do live in Michigan, and number one, I've got to deal with the highest car insurance rate in the country, like you do, too. But, no, maybe I'll sit down and give this Tom Cochran a letter or whatever. I mean, what district is he in anyway? Do you know?
Where is he from? Let's see here. I can always just do, okay, represent. Yeah, it doesn't say where. All right, so Representative Tom Cochran. Hold on. I should just send you the link for the, just bleeping Google it. Tom Cochran, pasty white guy, multiple chins, 65 years old. He's out of Lansing. Oh, he's born in Lansing. Hold on a second. I'm trying to get his actual district here.
All right. 65.
67th district.
67th district.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah. So there you go. Oh, hey, former Mason school board member. So that's right there. Automatically, you know what's wrong with this guy.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if you heard my rant a couple of months ago about school board members, but it's I don't know what it is that the lowest common denominator always ends up on the school board. And I had a member of a school board here who called anonymously, and they said, because nobody runs for school board, so only the morons get elected to it. And that was, you know, I'm paraphrasing what they told me, but that was essentially it, is that, you know, really it's, when it comes to school boards, it's just nobody of capability actually runs for the thing. So you just get like the curmudgeons in the community who don't know what they're talking about on the school board. So,
well, I guarantee you, when I go to a restaurant, I'm going to always order a plastic straw.
Dude, I'm not only going to mail this guy a straw, I am going to go to the dollar store and I'm going to get one of those 100 packs of straws that we buy for our kids. And then I'm going to chop it in multiple pieces so he gets like 500 straws. And I'm going to send it to him because this is so dumb.
Outstanding. Yeah, that's it. We don't have anything else to worry about except some stupid plastic straws.
Oh, man, everything's great in Michigan. There's nothing wrong in Michigan at all. I mean,
all right, Casey.
All right, buddy. You take care. And then the max fines for the restaurant is $300 a year. Okay, whatever you say. 574-25-95-95-3. That's 2595953. More of your phone calls coming up on this on Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
KC Hendrickson, Newstalk 95.3, Michigan.
Eugenia.
It's 95.3 MNC's
Oh, you're a Eugenia.
You're a Eugene? I would like to point out that she was very clever, and as soon as she said her name, she went, "This is how you spell it," and spelled it for me.
Good for her.
Thank you.
It's like she's dealt with it before.
Of course.
It could have been Absiday.
Newstalk 953, Michiana's news channel. Would you like to talk to Casey?
All right. Let me change the YouTube chat thing here so it doesn't fade out, guys.
Alrighty, try to get you on there then, sir.
Trying to, anyway.
Try to get you on there then.
There you go. Talk to me.
Good citizen. You get a turkey? You heard that right. Give blood now and get a turkey. Come into the South Bend Medical Foundation and donate blood during the months of November.
I think if I worked at Fox, I would have to throw things at Shepard Smith's face just to see what stuck to his makeup. Like, that would have to be my mission. Like, okay, will this stick? And just throw it at him. Because you know he's got a quarter of an inch of makeup on that face of his.
Come in and give blood. It's our way of saying thanks. Donating is easy, and appointments are easy to make. Contact the donor center most convenient to you and make an appointment today. Call 234-1157 or log on to givebloodnow.com. Roll up your sleeve and be a hero. Go to givebloodnow.com. Give blood now and get a turkey.
Not a game show where you have to guess the gift that people want while wrestling 1,000 people for it. Oh,
Fade
and
out.
and
None.
if you guess
All right.
correctly, you become an outcast.
That should
Exactly what they want.
fix it.
Pick it out while enjoying a delicious tapas meal and a fine drink.
There we go.
You bet it would.
No more fade out. Y'all present there forever.
Right now, when you buy a $50 gift card, you get a bonus certificate for $10, and a $100 gift card gives you a $25.
So glad I could help you all.
You can do whatever you want.
Is the chat text big enough? Y'all want it bigger?
Enjoy the best food around at Temper Grill, and you get your shopping done. No hassle, no guessing. Come to Temper Grill. Laugh out loud because life is too short and the food is too good to be anything else but happy. So get the gift of a Temper Grill gift card and make everybody happy.
He's been smoking more than pot. Yeah, probably. Straw. You like the straw amnesty, huh?
Financial advisor.
I thought it was funny.
At Corhorn Financial Group, we're trying to help you reach your financial.
You want the text bigger or no? Somebody comment something.
Yeah, it's not
financial life. In order
showing
to
up
do
on the
this
video.
effectively, we have to have all the financial.
It's not on the stream?
Collaborating together.
like it's still on. No, Casey, I think he's been smoking more than pot, and it's
Oh, okay.
it's not showing up.
Collaborate together.
All right. So they say that they want it bigger. All right. Well,
Most people have at least
let's
5
try
financial professionals
30.
to meet with, and those 5
Okay.
financial professionals never meet. At Corhorn Financial Group, all of those professionals are on one team in one place, and our customers come to
Save.
Corhorn Financial Group for that integrated advice, where all of those professionals work together to help you reach.
Is that too big or is that good?
Oh, but, yeah, let's. Because now I can read it pretty easily, and I'm not even full screen.
Yeah.
Hunting season is here, and you are ready.
Hopefully.
Your truck, your dog, nights are
It's
on
not
the
updating,
water
though.
with your buddies.
Yeah,
Man,
that's what I was
life is
saying.
awesome. But there's one teeny tiny little problem. Sorry to bring up the obvious.
It's also now
fellas,
like
but let's face it, you're leaving
in the
your
middle
wife
of
home with the kids.
So does it need to fade out?
You go on a guilt trip. But Hoffman Jewelers can help you avoid the guilt trip.
I wonder if it needs to fade out to refresh.
Jewelers and say, I have a
That
hunting
might be
trip
part of it.
coming up, and we'll take care of you. You
All right.
walk
So here,
out,
I'll put it on
no
30
problems.
seconds.
So when you say to your wife, honey, remember, I'm going on that hunting trip, and she gets that look on her face, you can hand her that little box, which changes the look on her face and her willingness to help you get ready for
If I end up having to just go back to the old plugin and use the old plugin, I will. I just figured I would try this one. This is a new service. So. Oh yeah, dude. This is just the beginning.
Let my deals Michiana
Then-
serve all
8 a.m.
Huh?
Set on the sign that's on the front entrance. It says the party started at 8 a.m.
It started at noon, but they shut it down for the whole day. Okay, so now it's not updating at all. What in the heck is going on? Save. Okay. All right, we'll mess with that a little bit. If I end up needing to change it at the news break, then I will. And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-25-95-95.3. That is 2595-953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. All right, we're talking about Michigan. There's a lawmaker in Michigan. His name is Representative Tom Cochran. 67th District. I'm not going to look that up. But he decided to go ahead and introduce two bills. And he says, look, I know that they're not going to get a hearing, but I just want to introduce them and start the conversation. And one of his brilliant ideas is to essentially fine restaurants for giving customers a straw without the customer explicitly asking for it. And then he also wants to ban altogether single-use plastic items, like cotton swabs, cutlery, and plates. Like I said, just trying to ruin my... I have no doubt that he watches this stream, and he knows that this is how we live, and he is just trying to mess with my family. Like, I totally know that that's what's going on. All right, 574-25-95-95.3. Eugenia, welcome to the program. How are you? I'm doing well. What's on your mind? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got that chemical gel stuff that's in there, too. I don't know what the biodegradable aspects of that are. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They can't hear the caller.
Which goes to the landfill, which I don't know about you, but we have to pay for a sewer service for human waste. And so all that waste goes out to the dump. The birds go through the garbage. They walk on those diapers, and then they fly over on your picnic table.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's unprocessed human waste. And we're having so many things come up, like the hoof and mouth disease that we didn't have in this country. At least it was under control for a long time.
Right.
E. coli. You know, all these things that are cropping up now. And I just wonder how many mountains of diapers are in our landfills.
Yeah, that's a good question, because I know a significant chunk of that's at least coming from my kid. And... because the reusable ones, they tried to make a comeback here, about 6-7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And basically what ended up happening is people didn't like clean and poop,
True,
and they don't want to deal with it.
Responsibility of having a child.
What are you talking about? Responsibility?
Yeah, that R word.
I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm.
No responsibility to prevent yourself from getting pregnant, and then once the kid's here, then no, you're not supposed to put any effort into it.
Buy your diapers.
Right. You're just supposed to coast until they go to school, and then the teacher raises them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how that works.
Okay, that was my thought.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you much.
Mm-hmm, bye.
All right. Take care. Now, you can rewash your plastic silverware, by the way, because we do that. We wash it. It'll go in the dishwasher about 3 times before it starts breaking down. We've got it down to a science. All right. 574-25-95-95.3. That is 2595-953. I'm still, I still wonder about this, because I have been covering this for, it feels like it's been a decade. We have these microwaves that fit on a desktop that recycle plastic and turn it into usable oil. I'm wondering why it is that we don't have that at a consumer level now. because these things have been invented. They've been basically perfected. They work really well. And you throw the plastic in this microwave-like device. It goes ahead and it melts it all down, processes it, turns it all back into usable oil. And you can have a little buyback program or something like that. You can use the oil for various things if you wanted to. I don't know why that stuff isn't like at consumer grade right now. Kent, welcome to the program.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. What's up?
Hey, I just wanted to share this with you. I happen to had to make a little trip. I went down south last week, and I went to one of Ted Turner's restaurants, and by God, they were serving your drinks with a paper straw, and it was a nice straw. I really enjoyed it. Different concept. But, I grew up with paper straws, and if they want to get rid of plastic, let's go back to the paper industry and they give them something, a subsidy if necessary, to get retooled.
Well, the paper straw thing is out there, and people have pointed out you can coat it with a wax, and it'll survive the average length of being in a drink and that sort of thing. They sell the reusable straws, and as long as you're diligent in cleaning it, they come with the cleaning kit. Every single one of them comes with the cleaning brush. You can do that.
Yeah.
And they come in some pretty cool colors too. And you can get some from China. So there's a bonus there, Kent. If your diet is low in lead, you can get it from the Chinese straws as well.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I'd want to go through the hassle of having to clean a straw every time I use it. This was the kind, if you recall, when they were paper waxed straws. This was
How old do you think I am, man? I was born in the modern era. What are you talking about?
I know. Well, anyway, when straws were wax-coated thin paper, this was like a cardboard, white paper straw, heavy duty.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you could probably get multiple uses out of it if you wanted to keep it. And a lot of people like to chew on straws, so...
Well, that's my 2-year-old. She likes chewing on her straws, too.
Yeah, but, if they want to eliminate the straw problem, let's look at that.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, Kent. You don't need the government to get involved in that. All you need to have is, and by the way, and you're right, the paper industry is going to look at this because the paper industry is still looking around going, holy crap, our products are being used less and less. We got to come up with new ways to make money. And this is a perfect opportunity. If they can get the cost down to where it is comparable to a plastic straw. Like I said, I pay, and I'm sure restaurants pay less than I do. I pay $1 for 100. And if they can get the cost down somewhere around there, I'm willing to bet there's a lot of restaurants that would easily go over to it, just because it gives them something to market. It's, if nothing else, like we got the paper straws. Don't worry, it's not going to melt in your drink. You'll be fine.
Right, and myself, I'm not one. I'm not. I hate to say it. Maybe it's a phobia, but I don't like drinking out of glasses publicly.
No, I don't either.
Even though they've been through a hot water machine.
That's how you get mouth aids, dude. You can't do that. Yeah, you got to be careful
but
with that.
I have to have a straw because I won't drink my drink if I don't have a straw.
Yeah, I'm with you, 100%. All right, man. I got to roll. I'm on a hard break.
Have a good one.
All right, buddy. You take care. So Ted Turner's people. Well, at least Ted Turner's living the lifestyle that he promotes. There's that at least. MNC News time is 3:32. Time to check out Masters Heating and Air Conditioning online at mastersheatcool.com. Masters gets there faster.
This is Michiana's breaking news and weather station.
All right. So we're having issues with the chat. So let's go ahead and just add it.
Spoke with MNC this morning. The next administration faces a number of challenges. Higher accountability and diminishing resources. So they're going to have to work through that. We have to make sure that our teachers are well paid and that their salaries are competitive with salaries across the country. And we have to make sure that we are providing everything that our students need across the board and making sure that every kid in the corporation is getting a great education. Dr. Spells says it's also important to remember that being a student today is very different than it was for previous generations in ways that are both good and bad. That's due to new advantages in learning resources and the difficulties faced by young people that are unique to this.
So I get that other thing worked out. We'll just do it the old way.
He's taking a job in Illinois. And tonight is the holiday light.
No, this is just how I look.
South Bend, which includes a chance for the kids to visit with Santa at his
I'm not bored. This is just how I look.
He always looks bored. Just like I always look angry. Unless I'm straining really, really hard to make it look like I'm not looking angry. Because for years and years and years, Casey, why are you scowling? That's like I have resting asshole face. Like that's me. Resting dick face, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Yeah. Like that's just me. So I had to train myself to do that. You do that. You go away.
Well, I'll be back in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
Just in time for the show to start. Come on.
All right. Where is the... There we go. Hold on. It's coming. Hold on. There you go. All right. Ho dilly dally. Look at that. Yeah, I think they are, and they have like a little wax on them, you know, so it keeps water from absorbing into them.
Comfort experts, heating specialist, first warning forecast.
Drizzle still possible early this afternoon, then we'll see mostly cloudy skies with a couple peaks of sunshine and a high of 45. For tonight, mostly cloudy, chance for some patchy fog and a low of 34. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds, still a chance for a shower or two, but otherwise, most staying dry with a high of 46. In the ABC 57 First Morning Neighborhood Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Kennedy.
News powered by Alton Masks of Coal Lakes.
All right.
Saturday, December 15th for evening and news.
Ah, crap. People are sending me pictures now. What's going on?
Polybags and 4 links. Locally raised meats made with American classics like walleye. Hand-cut chairman's
Oh.
Group of people in the conference room.
Okay, so my kid's school's on lockdown.
Just a short drive
Ooh.
from anywhere in Michiana. We're located between the 9th and 10th
Any reason?
Lakes Golf Course.
Well,
Any information as to why?
I think, yeah, I think they're looking for somebody in the area, I think is what it is. But I don't have the latest.
Do you know if it's a hard or soft?
It's right. I mean, everybody has to stay in, but the letter that they sent is like, everybody's safe. It's an off-campus thing. We're just locked down as precaution. Yeah, so
they're all lights are on. Everything.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nothing that's
Nothing
weird or freaky or anything like that. Yeah. And somebody had said that the high school earlier was, and I thought that I had saw something from earlier today that they were looking for somebody in the area, but I thought that was over. But I guess not.
I think my elementary school went on soft lockdown for stuff that was happening out, like off campus, maybe about 6 times in the 4 years I was there.
Yeah.
It's a little. And then Concord went on lockdown a lot. That's because Concord's violent.
Yeah.
I suppose as portrayed by the recent incident that was going on this week.
Right.
Plus the expulsion.
Did John tell you if he was going to be here today or not?
He said he was out of town in Fort Wayne.
Oh, that's right. He's on that vacation thing, right?
Yeah. He's working.
Oh, he's doing the
He's in Fort Wayne with
the penny pitch. Yeah.
Helping out Fulton Station.
And March wheat 530, that was down 6. Also February live cattle 122.40, down 45 cents. 32 lower on Febline hogs 64.50. I'm Andy Eubank. Who's your ag today? Indiana's Farm Network.
Your local versatile dealer, Weaver Ag and Lawn Equipment in Wakarusa, has the new versatile MFW.
There's like no information on this anywhere. The lockdowns.
If it's a soft lockdown, there's not going to be a lot of coverage on it.
You still assume that there would be.
There'd be something, right?
Like, hey, this is happening, you know.
The cab is designed for operator comfort and features climate control, movable right-hand console, and single lever shifting. Check out the restyled versatile MFWD at Weaver Ag and Lawn Equipment, your versatile dealer in Wakarusa.
At Weaver Ag and Lawn Equipment, we believe hard work doesn't have to be hard or expensive, and having the right tools will help make hard work easier and more economical. Our experienced team members will work with you to find the versatile tractor that best fits your needs. We offer a full line of parts and certified service technicians. Depend on the power and simplicity of the versatile MFWD at Weaver Ag and Lawn Equipment, where hard work comes to get done.
The Fox Business Report, powered by Modern Kitchen and Elkhart, opening new doors to build your dream living spaces.
Overall, Wall Street stocks are falling sharply.
He looks like the boss from The Incredibles.
Economic data from China
Yeah.
is sparking
Not as much as my friend Josh.
uncertainty among investors today. Among the laggards today, tech and healthcare companies. And T-Mobile and Sprint expect their $26 billion merger to be approved by a U.S. National Security Panel as early as next week. This after the respective parent companies, Deutsche Telekom and SoftBank, say they will consider curbing their use of equipment from China's Huawei Technologies, this according to Reuters. And this comes as no surprise. Stock market pessimism is the highest in 5.5 years. The American Association of Individual Investors said bearish sentiment, expectations that stock prices will fall over the next 6 months, jumping to around 49%. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Kimberly Varsity.
You wouldn't put a square peg in a round hole. So why would you deploy a traditional firewall in a modern
Oh, yes, I would.
Firewalls have new requirements for business.
Square peg, round hole. Keep watching. You can do it.
Cloud platforms like
I feel like it fit in really well once you got it.
Shave off the edges, man. You're good to go.
Have to be engineered to fit right in. Reclaim your cloud network. Try a Barracuda Cloud Generation Network or application firewall free at barracuda.com/firewalls.
Here's the explanation of the word free. Free is the absence of face. Free means no charge. And free is the deal at Home Comfort Expert. Call 255-4600 for Home Comfort Expert about getting a free furnace with a purchase of an AC unit. At the same time, you'll be keeping your home cool this summer. You'll be keeping it warm right now, this winter. Call Home Comfort Experts today to get your free furnace. And the technicians you've come to know and trust will make you warm and toasty right now with a free furnace.
None of the police departments are even posting about it.
Install the AC unit that'll make this summer the most comfortable and energy efficient ever. Come to think of it, that free furnace will be so efficient compared to your old one, you could be making money on it. Call Home Comfort Experts at 255-4600 and get your free furnace.
Yeah, like, nobody's running anything over there.
Mid-States Construction, one of the nation's leading authorized builders of new core building systems.
No, they've got the whole thing for the reusable diapers. They brought it all back.
Breaking news and weather station. Casey Hendrickson.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Again, once again, banned from the Christmas party. So there's 3 people in the building who don't get to partake in the Christmas party. That is me, that is Joe, and that is somebody else at one other radio station. And but they're loud out there. They sound like they're having fun. I mean, they're in the conference room. That's where all the desserts are. Yeah.
People outside,
vending
machines, and a bunch of people.
Okay. Yeah. Buildings full of people getting drunk. So, and then here we are. Yay. 574-2595, 95.3. That's 2595953. Earlier today in the live stream, somebody had mentioned that the Brandywine High School was on lockdown. My wife just sent me a message and said that our daughter's school is on lockdown. But you know, the message is that everybody is safe. So if your kids are in the Brandywine school district, then just understand that there is a lockdown. I'm looking nobody is saying anything. Last I had heard, I thought they were looking for somebody, but there's no direct threat that I am aware of at any of these schools. It's just a precaution. I think they're just looking for somebody in the area. So my wife did send me a letter from the school, and I'm just going to read it to you because I know a lot of you are in the Brandywine Community Schools area. Safety of our students is the utmost concern at Brandywine Community Schools, so we are keeping you informed of what is happening currently at Brandywine. The Brandywine District was notified this afternoon of a situation that was occurring in close proximity to our schools. As a precaution, all schools went into a perimeter lockdown after updated information from the Berrien County Sheriff's Office. Several Brandywine schools are no longer on lockdown. So you got MS, middle school, high school, Brandywine Elementary, no longer on lockdown. They have been dismissed. Parents can pick up their kids where they choose, but there are other schools that are still on lockdown at the orders of the Berrien County Sheriff's Office. The Berrien County Sheriff's Office social media pages aren't saying anything, so I don't have the latest details on it. But they said that everybody is safe. This has just been a precautionary measure for an off-campus incident and all of that. So if you went to go pick up your kid here recently and they weren't letting you, this is kind of what's happening. I thought that I had heard like an hour ago that like they were looking for somebody in the neighborhood and they were just taking precautions so they didn't duck into a school, especially considering the incident that happened yesterday where the student ducked into a school after getting into a shootout with police officers. So there isn't any direct or credible threats to any of the schools in the Brandywine district here, which is in Niles. 574-25-95-95-3. That is 2595-953. And you can send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. Speaking of law enforcement, I tell you, the area around Elkhart just cannot catch a break. Off-duty police officer for the Goshen Police Department was arrested for alleged drunk driving early this morning, according to the Goshen Police Department. Officials say an officer heard what sounded like gunshots before he conducted a traffic stop at the 23,000 block of US 33. That was around 1:43 a.m. Remember, kiddies, nothing good happens outside after midnight. Brody L. Brown, 24, was arrested on preliminary charges of operating a motor vehicle while intoxicated, according to the police. Two additional off-duty officers were passengers in the car. They were a Goshen police officer and an Elkhart police officer. So Elkhart just cannot catch a break right now. You know, this is one of those times where I think the assistant chief needs to call everybody in and go, okay, this is where we're all going to be on our absolute best behavior for the next couple of months, because holy smokes, why do we keep giving them any kind of a reason to talk about us? The Elkhart Police Department has identified the Elkhart officer involved in the incident as Corporal Leonard Dolshenko. That name rings a bell because he was part of the case we were talking about yesterday, because he was involved in that fatal shooting back in 2016. And the mom of the person who was trying to run Dolshenko and his partner over has now filed another lawsuit. So now he was a passenger in the car. He was not driving the vehicle. But again, you would assume that a vehicle with police officers would know if the driver was intoxicated. So this doesn't look very good. The Elkhart County Sheriff's Department will be investigating the incident. And officials say that Brown and the other Goshen officer will be placed on paid administrative leave pending the investigation. Dolshenko has been placed on administrative leave pending the outcome of the investigation. And again, you just had the mom of a shooting incident involving Officer Dolshenko refile her lawsuit against the department. You just had it happen this week. Not a smart move, getting into a vehicle drunk with somebody who is drunk behind the wheel. So, and again, it's you assume that the officers who were passengers in the car and Dolshenko was not driving. It is important that everybody understand that, but you would assume that they would understand that the driver might be impaired. So again, not a good look whatsoever. 574-25-95-95-3. That's 2595-953. You can also send me a text message at 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. More coming up. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
KC Hendrickson, News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Your breaking news and weather.
All right. We'll see what I can do.
I was thinking about that on the way in today. I'm like, man, like South Bend, because they just had that recent incident where the officer, they had the recommended firing of him because he broke the rules with speeding and got that girl killed. But South Bend and Mishawaka right now are just like smelling like roses. The last time I heard about anything weird with Mishawaka was when the ghost car happened. And that was, what, 2-3 years ago? Where the car just, by itself, drove out of the gas station, gassed across the street, and then jumped over the overpass onto the Riverwalk. Remember that? And they never explained how that happened. Ever.
It's a ghost case. Come on. It's haunted.
That was the whole bit. It was a ghost car.
Yeah, Randy, I am underage, so I don't think anybody would let me go in there and get set adult beverages.
Right.
And two, I don't think Casey would let me either. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. It says 2 additional off-duty officers were passengers in the car, and that's where Dolshenko was. But like I said, you assume that 2 police officers who are passengers in the car would know that the driver is intoxicated. So it's the optics. Is this something that Dolshenko should lose his job over? No, it's just that he's already been in the news. A case that he was involved in has just been refiled as a lawsuit. The department is under scrutiny. He's in the car as a passenger when the driver is drunk. And it just doesn't look good. It said this is at the point where I think Thayer needs to bring everybody in and say, all right, anything that can be twisted, misconstrued, could be used against us. That none of that can happen right now. You're not going drinking with your buddies. You're not going to go line dancing on Thursday nights. You're not going to do any of this crap for the next several months because they're clearly gunning for them. What a stupid move.
David Culp is cracking open the beer in your eye.
Thanks, Dave. Doesn't help me any, but you have fun. Merit is being dismissed. Other schools are being dismissed. So they're starting to let the kids out in Brandywine. Yeah. What about replacing single-use plastic with hemp-based products? That may happen. There's actually a proposed hemp rule at the federal government level.
Celebrate the new year with the Blackhawks and the Bruins outdoors at iconic Notre Dame Stadium.
Hockey in its purest form out here in the elements.
Be there as 2 of hockey's original 6.
Maybe the lawsuit is why he was drinking and brought back horrible memories. Could be, but you shouldn't do it. Somebody's got to be the designated driver. You're police officers, and you're human beings, but you've got all of this scrutiny on you, and somebody's got to be the designated driver. And if you let the guy who's drunk get behind the wheel, how do you enforce that law with somebody else? If you are Officer Dolshenko and you make a traffic stop and you tell somebody that you think they're intoxicated and they throw back in your face, well, you got in a car with somebody who's intoxicated and drove away. I mean, no, obviously it's not legal and it doesn't have any legal precedent. It's not a defense. It's just that, there's little things like this that are going to affect his ability to do his job.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number, 574-2595, 95.3. That is 2595-953. Somebody asked me if the 2 officers that were passengers in the car were intoxicated themselves. And the article that I'm reading doesn't say that they were. They just say that they were passengers in the car. But like I said, it's, somebody's got to be the designated driver. If you've got 3 officers that go out and they have a good time, that's fine, by the way. I got no issue with that. But somebody's got to be the designated driver. And it's really hard as law enforcement if you're going to run around and enforce these types of laws if you're not obeying them. It's the optics of it. For all I know, the other 2 officers were totally sober. That's entirely possible. But there are people who are going to look at this and ask the same question that I am. How is it that 2 police officers didn't know the 3rd police officer was too drunk to drive? And because he was drunk enough to be taken into custody. Okay. That's not us. Hey, swap seats and get him home safe. That is, you are way too drunk to be out here. So I don't have his level. That's not in the article, but I'm sure it'll come out in the next day or so. 574-2595-95.3. Like I said, predominantly it's, is this the biggest case in the world, and does it deserve, everybody coming down on these? No, but with the exception of the driver, I'm talking about the passengers now. But at the same time, the optics at this time with everything that's happening is just not the best way to react to all of this. Ty, welcome to the program. Good afternoon.
Afternoon. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I can't complain, but I just got a little quick before everyone starts saber-rattling about the law enforcement guy. If they're shocked about him keeping his job afterwards, it's all because there's one thing you cannot be fired for, and that's a disease. And if he claims one disease that comes along with drinking, he'll keep his job.
Well, and again, I don't know if the passengers were intoxicated or not. The driver was. He's with the Goshen PD.
Yeah, well, I know this from personal experience of happening with a few of my friends and stuff. As long as they said, hey, I have a problem, they can end up still keeping their job because, quote unquote, alcoholism is a disease, and you cannot be fired medically for a disease.
Yeah, so they can just use that defense, go to rehab, that sort of thing, even if they're not an alcoholic, and they'll be okay. Yeah. It's if not. I mean, again, if you're in the Elkhart Police Department right now, for the love of God, walk on eggshells. Like this is the time for you to be walking on eggshells. And no, it's not fair that you should have to do that, but that's just the reality. I mean, the press is gunning for you guys right now, and you're gonna have to do what you can to be as clean as possible. So, yep. All right, man. Appreciate the call. Thank you much.
All right, thanks.
All right.
Yep.
So Goshen Mayor Jeremy Stutzman released a statement about the incident, saying that there were special circumstances associated with this case that necessitated an investigation by another agency. There was an unfortunate incident which occurred last night involving off-duty officers from the Goshen Police Department and Elkhart Police Department. I was immediately contacted by Chief Jose Miller and briefed on the circumstances surrounding the arrest of one of the Goshen Police Department off-duty officers for operating while intoxicated. Based on the information I received from the Goshen Police Department's executive staff, I agree that there were special circumstances associated with this case that necessitated an investigation by another agency. Assistant Chief Sean Turner reached out to the Elkhart County Sheriff's Department and asked for them to investigate the incident. We did this with the interest of justice and transparency. The arresting officer, Jonathan McAllips, was placed in a tough situation. He showed great integrity in doing his job and making the arrest. My administration and the Goshen Police Department will be following the progress of this investigation closely. The Goshen off-duty officers, both the officer arrested and the passenger of the vehicle, have been placed on administrative leave until we have further information to review. Since the investigation has been outsourced to another agency, we will be unable to provide further information until a thorough investigation has been completed. We know there will be a question surrounding this incident, but to protect the integrity of the investigation, these questions should be directed to the Elkhart County Sheriff's Department. So contact Sheriff Brad. Poor guy. He's got to deal with this now, too. I want the community of Goshen to know that both Chief Miller and I take this situation very seriously. Goshen expects the highest level of integrity from our officers. While I am very disappointed with the choices made by the two Goshen officers, I am proud of the Goshen Police Department. And he should be. They're a good department. They really are. From initiating the actions being taken to deal with the situation. So, Mayor with a good statement there, but, it's just, it's rough. And somebody pointed out, maybe Dolshenko was out drinking because the lawsuit came up again and brought up some bad memories of the shooting in 2016. That's entirely possible. And, again, he's a human being. I can understand that. Officers can go out, they can have a good time. Nobody should come down on them for that. The problem is that he was in a vehicle where somebody was too drunk to be driving, was driving that car. And if you are a civilian and you're in a vehicle, people just call you an idiot and a moron and say a whole bunch of dumb stuff about you. If you're a police officer whose job it is to enforce that sort of thing, and you say, I didn't think he was that drunk, nobody's going to believe you. And that's kind of the situation that they have unfortunately found themselves in. And that's where there's going to be a problem. So, for the love of all that is great, if you are on the Elkhart City Police Department, walk on eggshells right now. Because like I said, every little thing that you do will be blown up in the press. They are gunning for you right now. Everybody is looking at that department. They'll be looking at Goshen now. Obviously, proximity is going to be a factor, but they're going to be looking at every tiny little thing. And even if Dolchenko was sober and didn't do anything wrong, he was still in the car, and it looks bad, and the optics aren't there, and just going to have to be smarter about this stuff. Plus, that the other point is he put himself in danger by allowing this guy to drive. And that's not okay to Dolchenko and the other officers' families. That's last thing that they want to hear is that their relative who wasn't drunk didn't drive the car, but got in the car with somebody who was, and they're police officers, for crying out loud. All right, 574-2595, 95.3. That's 2595-953. You can also send me a text message at 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. Got a lot to cover. Don't forget, at 5 o'clock, we will open up the phone lines for the final hour free for all. You can call about anything you want, starting at 5. And we're still not going to get through everything, but we do have a whole bunch, including Hillary Clinton responding to a court order to turn over documents. We'll chit-chat about that. And we also might have the Obama administration doing some stuff that may be illegal right before the inauguration of President Trump. All of that stuff coming up next.
WTRC-FM and HD1 Niles, South Bend, Elkhart. News Talk 95.3.
I don't know if they were in personal vehicles or not. I would assume that they were. What if he was lit? Would he be capable of determining if the driver was drunk? And that has been used in a defense, but it never wins. It never wins. If you go out with 3 officers and you're going to drink, somebody's got to be the designated driver. And in this case, the designated driver, if there was one, wasn't the person driving. So that's the unfortunate part. I mean, I'm glad everybody's okay. Thank God everybody's okay. But, Elkhart is doing what they can right now to stay out of the news. And this doesn't help that. All right, I'm going to go grab a little bit more coffee. I'm going to test out a new intermission scene. So go ahead and see how this works out. Report back to me when I get back. All right.
Lawmakers have also discussed finding a way to increase teacher pay. That's 95.3 MNC's Carl Stutzman. If it seems like the water level in the St. Joe River in Elkhart is going down, it's because it is.
So I'm walking by some of the people at the Christmas party, and let's just say that they're being louder than usual for these particular individuals, and the word Tinder happened, and I tuned it out and just gonna skit right on by.
31-year-old Katie County, Eakwright had been convicted of non-support of a dependent child back in May and sentenced to have an ankle monitor as part of the Kosciuszko County community.
Goshen Department is young, man. They are quality people over there, dude. I've had an opportunity to get to know a lot of the guys on the Goshen PD, and good people over there. Really good people. Awesome. Glad the break was good.
Prime Table. Get your Prime Table gift cards. A great gift this
Yeah.
season.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did try and force him to have the Christmas party, because you didn't give notice to the press that you weren't going to have the party. Oh, man. Hey, Gaffigan is going to be performing at the Morris. Dude, I actually want tickets to that. Yes. I need to actually let people know I want some tickets to something. I never get tickets for anything.
2 weeks later, we have 12 tickets.
December 21st at... that's when they go on sale. December 21st at 12 p.m. $45 to $95. The show is March 6th. So, that's awesome, man. God, he's funny. His bit about having, what is it, like 6 kids or something? And he's like, imagine having 5 kids and you're drowning and then somebody hands you a baby. It's like something, I totally screwed the joke up, but God, it's such a great line.
Just a short drive from anywhere in Michiana. We're located between the 9th and 10th Woods Golf Course on Highway 12 and
Oy vey.
open to the public. Check out our daily specials today. Visit Tuesdays through Saturdays to taste what it means to make American foods great.
I mean, I've heard some rumors about what's going to happen at Elkhart, but
NHQ.
Which means the days are shorter,
Yeah.
we can start earlier. So it's important to make sure your business's signs and parking lots are well lit. U.S. Sign Crafter's proactive and preventative maintenance allows your business to be found accurately. And
this is a come to Jesus moment, I think, for local PD. We're gonna have to all make sure we're on our best behavior here.
or visit
This is getting a little out of hand.
for more information.
When you buy a new Ford F-Series,
It's too small of an area to have this many stories in close proximity. As I said, a lot of the crap is overblown. The shooting lawsuit is totally frivolous, but it's just headline, 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 headline. The police should never want to be in the headlines unless it is for something heroic and amazing. And that rarely happens. The headline, I mean, not the heroism part. That happens all the time, but
0% financing for 72 months. Only at your Ford dealer. Not all buyers.
I knew what you meant, Casey.
yeah, well, I guarantee you there's going to be somebody be like, why are you always pissing on the Elkhart Police Department? I just defended this guy all day yesterday.
You did.
But there's going to be somebody who didn't hear it, and now is like, why are you attacking him? Didn't you know he was involved? Yeah, it happens all the time. I mean,
Casey Hendrickson from the Mid-States Construction Studio. Mid-States Construction, one of the nation's
oh yeah, remind me to tell you a little bit about ratings. I can't give you actual ratings, but I got some information my way today.
breaking news and weather station.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-2595-95.3. That is 2595-953. You can also send a text message to 45364. By the way, a lot of the schools in Brandywine now being dismissed, so things are okay over there. My wife is in line to pick up the kid. And she says, yep, they're letting everybody out. So if you're concerned, again, the schools were never in any danger in Niles. It was just that last I had heard was a rumor, nothing official. It was a rumor that they were looking for somebody in a neighborhood around one of the schools. And so they put all of the Brandywine schools on lockdown until they found the individuals. So that appears to be over. And the schools are being let out, the ones that were still on lockdown here about a half hour ago. 574-2595-95.3. That's 2595-953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. I do want to thank our sponsor, Second Amendment Arms and Range, located in New Carlisle, Indiana. And if you want to get out of the snow, out of the cold, be able to go shoot still, you can go to Second Amendment Arms and Range, go indoors, even shoot rifle indoors, which is, I know, tough to find sometimes. And they have rentals there. And, of course, they make their own ammo, too. Their ammo is really good. And I know that a lot of reload ammo is better than people think, but their ammo over there at Second Amendment Arms is really, really good. So go check it out, pick it up for a great discount. Of course, mention me, get some discounts. All right. What do we have here? Yes, St. Joseph County. Lots of local news this week, man. Tons of it. Not all good, but tons of local news. Recreational marijuana is now legal in Michigan, but police are reminding drivers no matter what state you're in, it is illegal to drive under the influence. I feel like we just talked about that. You think? Like recently. I don't know. Was there a recent story where we brought up driving under the influence? Seems weird that police would be mentioning this. Police departments in St. Joseph County are now conducting a marijuana traffic blitz. They are cracking down on impaired drivers. The blitz targeting those under the influence of any substance, including marijuana, is starting today. This blitz is happening until the end of the year. Okay? It's a full blitz. But we told you that they had plans for how they were going to force this. I mean, Indiana had plenty of heads up that this was coming their way. And, I've told you the polls for 3 years on what it was looking like in Michigan if this were to happen. And when it got onto the ballot and everything was certified, I mean, everybody, I think, had a pretty good idea that this was going to be legalized. And so as I've talked to the local law enforcement entities out here, and when I had Assistant Chief Thayer in here from Elkhart last week, he wouldn't give me specifics, but he said, yeah, we will have people in positions of strategery or something of that nature. So they are, he says, look, our job is to enforce Indiana law, period, end of story. And that's exactly what they're out there doing. But that blitz starts today. So just so you know, they are going to be looking for people, in particular, marijuana. So you're going to have to pay very, very close attention. As we've highlighted before, if you are in the state of Indiana, you cannot go to Michigan and obtain marijuana legally and then bring it back. It's illegal. I know this seems like common sense, okay? But people are dumb, all right? That's just how it is. And if you are in Michigan, don't pick up your legal marijuana, because right now you can only get it from a friend. They can't sell it to you, but they can give it to you. Right now you can only get it from a friend who can legally obtain it medicinally or can grow it themselves, because you still can't go out there and buy it. So, like, your dealer isn't all of a sudden now a small business owner, okay? That's not how this works. But if you get it legally in the state of Michigan, don't run any errands in Indiana, okay? Don't go pick up any milk. Don't go get any gas. Of course, you wouldn't anyway, because it's cheaper in Michigan now. Don't go buying any alcohol. Don't go to any recreational thing. Don't do anything in Indiana after you pick up your pot in Michigan. Go right home, put it away legally, and then you can go out and do your other stuff. Do not bring it across the border. You are going to get popped for something that is legal where you live and is illegal where you play. Do not make that mistake. You can end up in big trouble for something that's literally legal 100 feet away. So don't do it. I'm telling you right now, there's going to be a ton of people. We already popped one guy. Who lives in Michigan on the Indiana side for marijuana. So we've already got one person that's been popped for this. You do not want to make such a simple, dumb mistake. So just plan your routes, plan your day, how you're going to do stuff, and then don't worry about it, because this is a lot of people are going to think you get hit with this, and it's going to cause them a lot of legal headaches when really it should be a very simple thing to avoid. 574-2595, 95.3. That's 2595-953. Hillary Clinton has finally responded to a court order to turn over some new answers on her email. Remember, we talked about this here a while ago. On Friday morning, Hillary Clinton responded to a court order forced by Judicial Watch to answer more questions about the setting up of her private server. Remember, the judge awarded Judicial Watch the right to ask and inquire with these questions. And then, frankly, the judge looked at it and says, actually, I want to know the answers to a lot of this too, because there's a whole lot of illegal behavior here, and she's never answered for it. In fact, she's never even answered questions about some aspects of it. Judicial Watch appeared in D.C. federal court last month on a motion to compel more testimony from Hillary Clinton, as well as to make public video recordings of depositions of top Clinton aides such as Uma Abedin and Cheryl Mills. Now, the court ruled that Hillary Clinton must answer more questions about the setting up of her private server under oath. As expected, Hillary Clinton responded to the court order with her usual arrogance. She said that she set up the server for, quote, convenience and had, quote, no role in the process setting up the server. She also kind of played dumb, says she didn't know anything about the equipment, how it was created, or who else had accounts in the system. Now, if you are the Secretary of State, you have no idea who has an account on your server. You have no idea who has access to your server. So you create a private server. Okay, this was done under her orders now. Okay, so they create a private server at her request under her orders, and she doesn't know who has an account on that server? Really? Does anybody honestly believe that Hillary Clinton had no idea who had a ClintonEmail.com email address? Does anybody believe that? The court ordered Clinton to describe the creation of ClintonEmail.com domain name, and the decision is set the domain up on the existing server, the date that it was decided to create the domain, and set it up on the existing server who made the decisions, and when the domain became operational on the existing server. So Clinton answered under oath, quote, subject to and without waiving the foregoing objection, Secretary Clinton answers as follows. As Secretary Clinton prepared in late 2008, early 2009 to serve as Secretary of State, she was aware that President Clinton's office had set up an email system, but she had no role in the process. President Clinton's office had set up an email system, but she had no role in the process. Not President Obama, President Clinton, okay? Secretary Clinton knew that President Clinton's staff had recently upgraded that system. Secretary Clinton does not know what equipment that system used, how it was created, who decided that the system needed to be upgraded, or who else had accounts on the system. So she's basically saying that her husband's private servers and everything else were set up, and she has no idea who had access to his stuff, but she just went ahead and piggybacked on his stuff. And then she was like, hands off, I'm going to let my husband, who's retired now, handle all of this stuff. I'm the Secretary of State. I don't need to deal with security. Again, nobody's buying this. Secretary Clinton believes that one of the president's aides, Justin Cooper, set up the system. Secretary Clinton decided to use a ClintonEmail.com account on the system for the purpose of convenience. Secretary Clinton recalls that the ClintonEmail.com account was created in early 2009. Although Secretary Clinton does not have specific knowledge of the details of the creation of the account, the domain or the domain name, her best understanding is that Mr. Cooper set it up. So congratulations, Justin Cooper. You have officially finally been thrown under the bus. We've been waiting for that to happen for some while. But Judicial Watch is, of course, continuing to cover this stuff. But it's so I didn't even know that this was related to her husband. I had no idea that the only reason she had this server was because Bill Clinton had already done it. And, of course, Bill Clinton, not having any access to any classified stuff, wasn't doing any of this. But she's a Secretary of State. She's piggybacking on his system. She doesn't ask any security questions. Hey, sweetheart, is your sweetheart? Hey, Bill, is your system, is it secure or what? Now, keep in mind, Bill Clinton says he still doesn't use email. Okay. He still says he doesn't use it. So I just want to throw that out there. The Secretary of State. This is probably what Comey meant when he said she wasn't sophisticated enough to know that she was breaking the law. And again, if you're not sophisticated enough to know how to handle classified documents, you're not sophisticated enough to be commander-in-chief. It's that simple. I mean, it ends any argument for her being president right then and there by her own words and by former Director Comey's own words. If she is not sophisticated enough to understand how to handle classified documents in the most basic and elementary fashion, She was not sophisticated enough to be commander-in-chief. It's that simple. And when she said she relied on everybody else around her to handle this stuff, that was her attempt to throw everybody under the bus. Now, Uma Abedin is the most danger of having that happen to her right now because of what happened with her husband's computer. But now, basically, Hillary is saying, well, Bill Clinton set all of this stuff up, and I went ahead and threw all my stuff on there, and yeah, I engaged in classified emails and whatnot, even though I told everybody before that I hadn't had any classified emails on there whatsoever, and that was proven to be a lie, and all of that. And I didn't even bother to ask him if it was up to date on security, and I didn't even ask to see whose names had emails on that domain or anything else. I'm just the Secretary of State dealing with classified documents and national security and international issues and whatnot. What do I need to know who has access to my server for? You mean like, did I wipe it with a cloth? 574-2595, 95.3. That's 2595-953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. More coming up. 95.3 MNC.
KC Hendrickson.
News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel, your breaking news and weather station.
I come before you and assume the presidency at a moment rich with promise.
Hey, Bill.
George Herbert Walker Bush.
Yeah.
For service to America.
Definitely how it is.
Nearly 70
I now live
Oh, I know.
to sign this Americans with Disability Act.
All right. So, over on Facebook, it is Chocolate Friday, Frank.
News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news
Oh,
channel.
caller called in asking how are they going to make a DUI on cannabis.
For the last probably 20, 30 years.
Do what?
How are they going to make a
state
DUI on
cabinets put
cannabis?
into their new homes. And now the trend is.
What do you mean, how are they going to make it stick?
Like, if you get pulled over for cannabis DUI,
Yeah.
how are they going to prove that you're high?
They have options.
Well, they take your test. There's a roadside test that works now, but then they'll take you back to the station to get the full test.
But
So,
the other option is you can also
and it measures the THC that's in your system.
and they're not falling apart.
So if you're over a certain level of THC, you're considered intoxicated. If it's under a certain level, then you're not intoxicated. Casey, heard you were doing a chocolate taste test. Wanted to let you know about the Indiana Whiskey having their chocolate whiskey. So maybe you should have someone bring you some. Jeremiah, I would love some chocolate whiskey. Look, I want Indiana Whiskey on anyway. We were trying to get them on as a sponsor for a long time, and they just haven't pulled the trigger. And I don't know why. But I would love Indiana Whiskey to be on as a sponsor. And yeah, heck yeah, man, I'm all about trying that out. Now, I can't do it on air. That's something that has to happen after I'm done with the show. But totally down for that.
Are you feeling frustrated and wondering other options besides drugs which only cover up the symptoms? Hi, I'm Dr. Don Warren from Warren Chiropractic Center, and I can tell you that we have helped thousands of people become pain-free. And I want to help you experience pain relief and better health. And did you realize most insurance companies cover chiropractic care? So it's a great time to check into those benefits before the year ends. At Warren Chiropractic,
So I guess a neighbor in the area of Brandywine is saying that there was a guy who's threatening to kill himself, his girlfriend, and then burn down the house. And
In that order? 'Cause that's not how that works.
well, don't know how credible that is, but my wife's sending me pictures of the sheriff's department directing traffic. There's like a really big SWAT vehicle over there. Oh yeah, I got the EOD guys out. So
throughout our area. The Tribune has a variety of routes now available. South End Tribune carriers can make 200 to 300 a week delivering newspapers. All you need is a valid driver's license.
Don't forget NHQ, by the way.
It's easy to apply. Just
NHQ. Is that the first time you told me that?
404
Really?
0245. The Tribune will get back in
Told
touch
you
with
during
you
your
and answer any questions you
Should I
have.
get nickel plated or blued straws? I would go with
Pay
nickel.
off your holiday bills more quickly. Become a
Blue wears off.
Tribune carrier. Apply by texting
Nickel's going to be a better one.
to 850-404.
Yes, I can absolutely sponsor an alcohol company. We have been trying for Indiana Whiskey for a while. And it seems like every time we're like this close, something happens, and it doesn't happen. So
I've been at Lock Money Motors for 28 years. I consider myself a family man, and I'm blessed to say.
yeah, I just can't consume their products on here. Right? I can talk about them all I want.
Unless they make glasses.
Make Lock Money Motors a special place.
Yeah. If they have non-alcoholic things, like some distillers will have their own coffee. Like if they have a like a whiskey infused coffee or something like that, I can have that. There's a really good one too. Who made that? Oh, you know what? That was Indiana whiskey. My wife got it for me. I think it was last Christmas. It was a batch of their coffee, and it was really yummy. It was good stuff. It was like multiple sample packs, their little coffees and whatnot. Yeah, that was good.
Me at 920 North Napanee Street in Elkhart, or shop my inventory.
Wait, when you read my post, it sounded kind of racist. Ha 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 ha. So I guess there is a company out there that lets you mold your keister, the business end of your keister, not just the cheek, and make chocolates with it. So you can actually give out a chocolate starfish. And I instantly said, I have to look for this tonight, and I have to buy it. Because there can be, are you kidding me? Yeah. Like little chocolate starfish chocolates with some chocolate ganache.
Yeah, you can. Randy wants to know if you can 3D print straws, Casey.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
3D print anything if your printer's big enough.
That's correct.
Music didn't work. I'm upset. There we go.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.
Michiana's News Channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Or am I? Counterfeit by Limp Bizkit. 574-25-95-95-3. That is 2595-953. We're still talking about the straw situation on the live stream. Somebody asked if I could 3D print a straw, and the answer is yes. And in fact, I have done it. So you can. Now, you need to understand a couple of things if you're going to partake in this endeavor. If you use a 3D printer to print this stuff, now, the materials are food safe. If you're using PLA or some of the other standard filaments, I wouldn't recommend ABS. But if you use a food safe, food grade filament, you can use it repeatedly over and over and over again. If you just 3D print a PLA straw, then you have to be very diligent about cleaning it, and obviously it's not going to be dishwasher safe. So the ability of bacteria to actually grow in it is very high. So it's a gimmick. It's something you do real quick. You know, like when you print a shot glass, you have it a couple of times, you mess around with it, but it's not something that you use on a regular basis. You got to be real careful with that stuff. But yes, it can absolutely be done. Straws are also extremely difficult unless you flatten one end of them and lay them down horizontal when you print them. And that tends to be okay, and it'll still work. But any rounded objects like that are tall can take a long time to print. All right, 574-25-95-95-3. That is 2595-953. Once again, you can send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. We will be doing the South Bend Chocolate Company taste test in just a little bit. I don't know, man. There's a lot of stuff there. You think we should just do this at 35? Sure. Yeah, let's do it at 35 because the box is massive. Like they sent so much, and I'm already not feeling good because I ate something bad for lunch. But it's just an absolutely massive box. I have pictures of it on Facebook. You go to facebook.com/Casey the host. And want to thank South Bend Chocolate Company for sending, for the second year in a row, sending a care package over here for us to taste test. And no doubt some of it will be going out to family because they love getting South Bend Chocolate Company on the holidays. My whole family likes the regional stuff. So, like, we have Ethel M in Las Vegas. So my family will send out Ethel M to everybody. And then I have South Bend Chocolate Company here, so we'll send out South Bend Chocolate Company to people. And they absolutely love it. The Weekly Standard. Now, we told you about this a couple of weeks ago, that the Weekly Standard was going to be shutting down. It is now official and confirmed. The Weekly Standard, after 23 years of publication, in a matter of, well, essentially 2 years now, of nonstop bashing the conservative base and Trump out of business. That's how quick it happened. 3 years ago, the Weekly Standard was one of the standard publications for Republicanism, and now it is out of business. And a huge part of that was Bill Kristol constantly attacking the president. And they remember the Weekly Standard actually attacked members of the military, and they attacked the conservative base routinely as being stupid. And that was something that really led them to falter. Now, they're one of many digital platforms that are struggling right now. Huffington Post, BuzzFeed, Vice, Vox, all of those. Salon, I think. Although I think it was Salon that has all of their writers out on strike right now because they're not liberal enough. But they're all struggling because there is this feeding frenzy, if you will, for digital content, digital media, and it's becoming more and more difficult for people to be able to stand out. So the Weekly Standard announced that they will shut down. I think they said, when is their final date? Final edition, because I saw it in here earlier. Last issue is this week's issue, December 17th. They were told to clean out their desks and everything today. This is their last day on the job. They're closing down. Let's see. A lot of young writers are over there too. You know, you get into the Weekly Standard because they'll take you in. There's not many conservatives that get through journalism school, and so when you have a publication that will take you in, that works out pretty good. So the Weekly Standard, the conservative magazine founded by Bill Kristol in 1995, who again has never been considered a conservative by anybody who is in the conservative movement. He's always been a Republican. Will shut down. Ryan McKibben, the CEO of the magazine's parent company, Clarity Media, told staffers in an all-hands meeting on Friday morning. The company made it official in a press statement a short time later. We knew this, again, a week or two ago. Today's just official. And so they told everybody today that was it. Clean out your desk. The last issue is December 17th, the one that you've been working on right now, and then you will have no job. So it's official. Weekly Standard is gone. Toast. So I don't know if you have any subscription issues or anything like that. I'm not really sure of all of that. But like I said, Bill Kristol, I've been in this business for 13 years. He has never been considered a conservative by anybody, but people on the left. And I think he made that well known over the past couple of years. But when you start attacking your base the way that they did, it tends to destroy your publication. In an already oversaturated field, for them to do that was just the death knell. So Weekly Standard, once again, RIP. They are done this week. MNC News Time is 4:31. Time to check out Masters Heating and Air Conditioning online at mastersheatcool.com. Masters gets there faster.
This is Michiana's breaking news and weather station.
No problem. Thank you for calling.
All righty. Shizzle, dizzle. Go buy your stabby, pokey knife.
these are the same thing.
So why would you deploy
Okay.
So yeah, well, these are more like an Oreo, and then these are just like sugar cookies.
Okay. Well, just do the sugar cookies then, smaller package.
I think these are Oreos basically, and then these are just like chocolate covered.
Okay. That's fine.
Want to do one more thing? Make it 3 for each.
Yeah.
Barracuda.com/firewalls.
I don't have time to go poop. What are you talking about? Once you start doing the show, you're not able to go poop anymore.
You can pee.
You can pee. You can pee.
It's a bright gift because
And then
We're divvying up the South Bend Chocolate Company stuff right now.
free when used for qualified expenses at any eligible
turtles, the mints, or the snowballs.
including tuition, books,
Snowballs.
Plus, contribute to a College Choice 529 plan account can earn Indiana residents a 20% state tax credit of up to $1,000.
Yeah, the bags they'll open on the side for you.
A little more fragile.
Yeah.
Open a College Choice 529 plan
That's the
account or make
Christmas
contributions today.
Christmas Crunch. Cookie Crunch.
Yeah, this is their college products.
Benefits are subject to eligibility.
Exactly. All right, here we go.
There's the Irish.
This box is huge. It's massive. Hey, good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in.
News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I'm your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number doesn't matter because I'm not going to answer the phones right now. We're going to eat. We're going to stuff our face. But at 5 o'clock, we'll take your phone calls about anything that you want to talk about. Open lines at 5, the final hour free-for-all. So I had a listener who went ahead and brought in a bunch of South Bend Chocolate Company. They do some work with South Bend Chocolate Company. And last year, this was an issue because South Bend Chocolate Company have been delivered. They send out little samplers and things like that to media and whatnot. It happens. And last year, they sent it out to the station, and we were supposed to get it. And instead, what happened is the office stole it all, and we didn't get any of it. And so when we got a call from somebody that says, "Hey, did you get any of the South Bend Chocolate Company stuff that I dropped off for you earlier?" It wasn't here because they just assumed it was for all of them. So we did the mature thing, and we whined and cried about it on the air. And South Bend Chocolate Company sent over a care package to make it right because they're awesome. And we were taste testing a bunch of their holiday stuff, and that's exactly what happened. It was amazing. And this year, they did it again, only they sent more stuff than we had last year. And we have a lot to sample today. And so what we've decided we're going to do is we're going to start with the crunch mixes. And which one are we going to do first?
Let's go ahead and do the Christmas just to get they're like big staple seasonal.
The Christmas cookie crunch.
Yeah.
All right. So let me, I'm going to show you the camera. You can go to youtube.com/Casey the host or facebook.com/Casey the host. We got Joe on camera as well.
Hello.
And so we got the South Bend Chocolate Company Christmas cookie crunch. Smells really good.
It does. They all smell very
good. It's like caramel corn, got some chocolate cookie with some this is probably white chocolate. Probably white chocolate over there. So all right, here we go. Yeah, white chocolate. Yep, that's a solid winner there.
Mm-hmm.
My wife's gonna love that one. There's a little bit of mint. You get a teeny, very faint amount of mint in there.
The icing has mint.
Okay.
It's the mint. It's a mint icing.
Now, let's go to the Irish.
The Irish.
So the Irish is there's a peppermint version of this, basically the same thing. So this is like their college town stuff. Irish chocolate crunch. And so this is the peppermint one, right?
It has peppermint in it.
Has peppermint in it. Okay,
but I have no idea what it is.
So they got the green coloring and
the chocolate almost smells like dark chocolate, but
well, there is a darker chocolate. So they've got a green. Can't get my fat fingers in here. So they got the normal chocolate, but they have green versions of this, and then they have the caramel corn with chocolate drizzle on it. That's an almond. Almond or peanut?
Oh no, I didn't get any of that. I have the caramel corn. The stuff on it.
It's a darker chocolate.
Yeah.
Not like a milk chocolate.
But
that chocolate with the caramel corn, though, man, that is a great combination.
I'm not a fan of dark chocolate, but with the caramel corn.
You don't like dark chocolate?
Not
Really?
a big fan of it. I like milk chocolate more, but this is definitely tastes very good. It balances it out.
Yeah. There's a good balance of sweet and savory with that. And very, very, it's not overpowering mint. So I'm wondering if the peppermint crunch is just like a smack. We're going to punch you with mint.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah. So it's like, hey, we're going to do our normal thing. But we're going to ramp it up with the peppermint. I don't think we opened that one, though, because we figured they'd probably be pretty similar. Now we got the sea salt. I love sea salt. Sea salt is good stuff. So South Bend Chocolate Company Sea Salt Crunch. This smells so good.
This is the bag that I destroyed and poured out way more than I needed.
What's that?
This is the bag I destroyed, so I poured out like 3
it's like
servings.
all crumbled up. So you got some different drizzles on there.
It looks good.
Smells really good too.
Yeah,
but I love sea salt.
Oh,
yeah, that's the one for me. Right there, that guy. The sea salt, totally mine. I dig that. All right, what else do we got?
Well,
we're gonna have to do this in 2 segments. So we're trying to make things similar in each segment.
We have their snowballs, the South Bend Chocolate Company snowballs.
Okay.
So let's open these up.
They're pretty, whatever they are. Almost dumped them all over. Came so close. Came so close. Sorry, the light's kind of reflecting off of it a little bit. There you go. God, this sea salt is so good.
My sister-in-law really likes these, so I have good feeling about this.
Snowballs, a refreshing winter snack.
Oh, it's popcorn. It's like this.
That is popcorn.
And then
that is really good.
Wow.
Brown sugar, corn syrup.
That's what it is. It's brown syrup and
popcorn, butter, cinnamon.
Yeah.
Baking soda. Normal stuff. It's
pretty good.
Yeah, that's really good. So it's basically just like a coated popcorn ball.
Yeah.
That's yummy. Yeah, that's really good.
Would not pass that up.
All right. We've got one more thing for this segment, I think.
A classic.
Well, you have to do the pretzels, right?
Yeah. Classic green food coloring pretzels.
Heck yeah. I mentioned that they sent like a big package over because they're all telling me to eat the desserts that they brought in for the Christmas party today.
It's I think it's a milk chocolate.
Okay.
We'll find out.
Christmas pretzels. And they look like little trees.
Yeah. Very clever. It's a staple of any holiday.
Yeah.
So you have to have chocolate pretzels.
Have to have these, right? Oh, it's minty.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, they've hit on everything so far.
Which doesn't surprise me.
You're not expecting mint?
No, that's not what I said. Like, it doesn't surprise me that it's all
I thought you
good.
said this one surprises me. Okay.
Yeah, if I hadn't smelt it, I would have been surprised by that.
I got you. Yeah, yeah. And
very good.
It's like you bite through it and you get all that sweet right up front, and then the savory takes over right after that. Super, super good.
It's like they're a good company or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like they make good things and have a good reputation like across the country.
Yeah.
Strange, right? So South Bend Chocolate Company, we got, okay, what are some of the things we have coming up in the next segment here?
Well, we definitely we're going to try the cookies and then probably going to try their turtles, I think.
And go into the turtles, and then we have some chocolate covered fruits and some other stuff.
Cherries and blueberries, I think.
Cherries and blueberries. Oh, yeah. Chocolate covered blueberries. I'm all about that. All right, we got more taste testing. The South Bend Chocolate Company's care package coming up on News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
KC Hendrickson, News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. Your breaking news and weather station.
I've got to put some of this away. I've just got like mountains of mostly like a bag. Yeah. Oh, this is saran wrap. Ooh. I will murder fools for turtles.
Winter is the worst for your vehicle. Warm and toasty and driving down the road.
Hey! What's up, man? You made it.
Yeah.
We just got done with their mixes. The mixes, yeah. Yeah, like the caramel corn and stuff. Very good. Got a couple of different flavors this year.
And Mishawaka off Edison Road. Open 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m.
And this holiday season is a chocolate raisins, which is one of my all-time favorites. We probably have to do the pumpkin thing. So. We have to do these because they're pumpkin. Yeah.
A little out of season now, isn't it?
No, not really. I think they've extended pumpkin into Christmas too for that pumpkin pie. They've got the milk chocolate toy soldiers, but I don't think we need to taste those.
It's just milk chocolate.
And that's just the malt balls. German almonds, those are really good.
Any chocolate covered coffee beans?
I've seen coffee beans. We did see coffee beans. Those are really good. All right, so how can I get you two on camera? Because I didn't know if you were coming today.
Will be completed on time and on budget.
Well, I have to be able to operate.
1975, for 40 years, our family-owned Mid-States Construction has built success for hundreds of satisfied clients.
You did?
Whether it's
When?
new construction,
You were like, South Bend Chocolate. You want to try the giant cherries? And I was like, hell yeah.
Well, I do, but I also think I might give those a present.
Mid-States experience and overwhelming knowledge of the building process builds your confidence, knowing we'll get the job done right.
So what do we do? We gotta get everybody on the camera now.
These are the pillars on which every Mid-States construction project are built. The bottom line, think professionalism. Think Mid-States Construction. Mid-States Construction is one of the nation's leading
I can't.
builders of new core buildings.
We could do blueberries.
95.
Yeah, the blueberries we can do.
So,
He's answering the phone.
the 2 cookies, the turtles, and the blueberries, that'll make it 4 for each.
Okay.
Okay, do you have to go in to get that? Like right in the cafe?
To fine wine, delicious seafood Alfredo, homemade soups, and many others. Your lunch or dinner is prepared from scratch
Okay.
the old-fashioned way.
Oh, this one's also part of our college.
I see dead people.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pass that
Okay.
part to Casey. Yeah, appreciate your call. Mike.
Thanks for
looking out there. No problem. You can go back twice.
Alright.
Sure you had something for us? He said the hot chocolate's really good. Go into the cafe and get some hot chocolate. They serve it like marshmallows and cherries on
Casey
top.
doesn't like their service. He said that earlier this
Yeah.
week. He didn't say it on air.
I do have some issues consistently with the cafe's quality of employee.
He doesn't like going into the cafe and getting stuff because the service there is really good. Like their stuff that they serve is good, but when you ask them questions, they don't know the answer to.
It's then you're trying to enjoy something good with like rage.
I don't know how I'm going to feel about these blueberries, so I'm not a big fan of blueberries.
You're just weird.
Were you carrying a Pokeball Plus, by the way? Is that what you were carrying?
Dude, Tim's logo, Pokemon is life.
It's a good series.
He's an avid player.
And pump. I don't know how I'm going to feel with this pumpkin.
He's like, Pokemon Go. I don't know how I'm going to feel about the pumpkin either. But we have to do the pumpkin cookies.
We'll try the pumpkin cookies.
So Tim comes back for the food. Yep.
Yeah,
he says he told me he was coming in today, but I honestly have no recollection of that. So I don't know. He might have posted it and I didn't see it. Maybe.
Come to see Kramer Interiors on University Drive.
The sleeve, I swear. There we go. And then it's...
Those are monsters. Those things are huge. Cut them in half, just in case.
I could break them in half.
That's fine. That's okay.
Oh yeah, you have it back.
I mean, like, it is also cut up in boxes today. So, I mean, it's not clean. Just a full one.
Over the original Poncho Motivo, all with the trusted insect and nematode
How's it working out for you though?
This has been a weird week.
No, I mean the knife.
Oh,
I don't care. I don't care about your personal life. Knife's okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I haven't broken it yet.
Oh, didn't really get that in half, but. Hey, Casey, you can try the big chunk.
Big chunk.
Fractions are relative.
You want to try half of my half?
I feel obligated to have Tim on camera now.
You don't have to have my camera. You should hang out.
All right, we may not have Tim on camera.
It's all right. They've seen me before.
Or you can try part of Casey's.
Hey, good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk
95.3 Michiana's News Channel. I'm your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-2595-95.3. That is 2595-953. We are the band from Christmas Party Group. And so as a result, South Bend Chocolate Company sent us a massive, massive box. This thing is what, 18 by 24 inches?
It's a good size box.
And I mean, it's a huge box, and this thing is just stuffed to the brim. The pictures of it on Facebook do not do it justice. They included a hoodie in there, too. They know me very well. They sent me a hoodie.
Is that the right size, though?
Huh?
Did they send the right size?
I don't know what size it was, but regardless, it's a hoodie, and I will be happy and thankful for it.
So long as they are better than John Zibney at imagining people's sizes.
Oh yeah, he's terrible at that. He's terrible at that.
For instance, oh, I'm not on camera.
No, you're not on
this
camera.
Is tucked in like under my shirt. It normally, because John apparently still thinks I'm 250 pounds.
He gave you like, what is that? Like a double XL?
I think it's a double X.
Yeah.
I wear like larges and mediums, and John was like, "This should fit, right?"
I mean, it fits.
Oh, that's
it's just,
funny.
It's like a tent.
I am like stuffing it underneath my belt just so it kind of almost form fits and I don't look ridiculous.
That was what, I wasn't sure if Tim was going to make it. He says he told me. I don't remember, but
I believe my response to South Bend Chocolate Company coming in was hell yeah.
Okay, yeah, because it was a fun time last year, that's for sure. So anyway, South Bend Chocolate Company sent over this care package, and we've got all these amazing goodies to test out, which helps you. Lots of cookies, which helps you decide what you should get your loved ones when you send them your care package in the next couple of weeks. Because South Bend Chocolate Company, obviously, a lot of, like I said, my family likes to send regional candies to people. Oh, the turtles, which are like one of my all-time faves. Do I go for red or do I go for green?
I put a couple cups over there. You want to pour some into a cup for me?
Blueberries?
So producer Tim walks in and he was ready to go. Walked in with a big old grin on his face. And he's like, "Oh yeah, let's do this."
I'm super excited.
All right, so the first thing that we have here is the cookie.
Thank you.
This is the Christmas cookie, and I think it's a sugar cookie with the coating.
That or like a chocolate, like a solid chocolate.
Because there's the other ones that we have like 2 packages of these, but one's a lot bigger than this one.
I think the other ones are like Oreos, and then these are like solid chocolate wafer.
I think it's like the Oreo without cream.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Like a big. Yeah.
All right. So here we go.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's just like a chocolate Oreo wafer.
Very good ratio of coating to cookie.
Yeah.
Yep. Very good mix.
Not too dry.
Not overbearing. Not too dry.
sweet.
Exactly.
That's good.
Very
The
good.
sprinkling of candy cane is a very nice
Yep.
touch.
The little candy cane
Adds
on
a good
top is a nice touch. Now so we cut this in half.
I attempted to cut it in half.
Now,
Tim's knife wasn't very good for cutting food.
Here, hand it back. We'll cut it a little more.
Here, just take mine because I have the bigger piece.
Yeah.
So, full disclosure, I'm not a pumpkin candy fan. I love pumpkin pie. I will murder pumpkin pie. I'm not a pumpkin candy fan. And these are pumpkin Oreo cookies. So you've got like, I don't know if it's the name brand Oreo, but you got the Oreo style cookie with the pumpkin candied coating. And I remain skeptical.
We will see.
Smells like pumpkin.
I remain skeptical. Now,
It does
again,
smell like pumpkin.
I have faith because of
Like
South Bend
spice and
Chocolate
all.
Company, but here we go.
Oh, did you want the box so you can?
Oh, yeah, here's
Sorry.
show everybody kind of what it is. The autumn pumpkin is what it is. Focus. There you go. Classic American sandwich cookie.
I guess I could have showed them on my camera, but.
Okay, it's It's not bad like a pumpkin spice would be bad. It's just not my thing. I'm not into pumpkin candy flavored stuff. I'm just not. But if you are, you will dig this because the pumpkin is pronounced. It has a very similar aftertaste to what you would get with a really good pumpkin pie with fall spices. So if you enjoy pumpkin, you're going to enjoy this.
It
quite
smells
a bit.
like pumpkin,
Yes.
and then it tastes like it smells.
Yes.
So it tastes. It literally does taste like it smells.
Again, I just tend to not like that flavor combination, but if you do, you're going to be very, very happy with that. All right.
Definitely not for me.
Not for you.
No.
Okay.
I put the whole thing in my mouth, and it was too much pumpkin coating.
Turtle. I don't even have the blueberries yet.
Well, you can have the blueberries.
I'm trying to show the package. So these are the turtles. Turtles, one of my all-time favorites of everything ever. Absolutely love the turtles. And South Bend Chocolate Company makes some of the best turtles around, by the way.
Very popular. I remember when I was
Extremely
for
popular.
school that people would always buy turtles.
Yeah, these are a common one that people pick up and send to their loved ones. So, what are you doing? What are you looking for?
The box?
The turtles.
He's looking for the turtles.
You don't have one? Oh, sorry. There you go.
Thanks.
All right, so I'm just going to eat this. So.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's so soft and gooey.
It's like a Snickers.
Oh, it's so gooey.
That's like what it is. It's a Snickers.
No, it's not. Snickers has nougat.
Okay, it's a Snickers minus nougat.
Right. So a turtle. You don't know what a turtle is?
No.
I didn't know you didn't know. I thought it was self-explanatory. I thought everybody knew what a turtle was.
Like just peanuts, tons of caramel, coated in chocolate.
I'm just sitting here talking like everybody knows what a turtle is, and poor Joe's like, I don't know what that is.
It's like a Snickers, he says.
I think he's wrong. I think it's like a Milky Way with peanuts.
Yeah.
All right. Is this the last thing, the blueberries? I think we're running out of time.
We got over a minute. We got like a minute and 9.
All right. Chocolate covered blueberries.
These I don't
are some of my favorites.
I'm not a big fan of chocolate covered fruit, so
they are blue, like Notre Dame blue. Yeah, I wonder if that was on purpose.
Probably.
Do you think they have chocolate covered golden raisins that are gold?
I don't know. They do have the chocolate covered raisins over there.
Ooh, these are really good.
Man, I love chocolate covered blueberries, dude.
Oh man, these are so good. I don't think I've ever had anything like this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. These are like right here. These are top tier for me. Put these in my stocking. I'm good.
Yeah, take these away from me. I'm gonna just eat this whole cup.
Eat the cup. That's what they're there for.
Like paper and all.
Did you see how much they gave me? I can't eat all of this. You kidding me?
Yeah.
Like we have to divvy this up before we go. There's no way.
Diabetes.
Now there's a throwback.
I'm doing my own commercials here. Oh man. Hey, South Bend Chocolate Company, seriously, thank you so much for this. And we didn't get through nearly everything. I mean, we could do 3 days of taste tests on this stuff. But thank you so much for doing it. Of course, get your candies and chocolates at South Bend Chocolate Company. We got open lines coming up, 95.3 MNC.
WTRC FM and HD1 Niles, South Bend, Elk.
You should see. I got to show you guys what these cherries look like. You're not going to believe how big these things are.
Woo! That's too salty.
Did you get the sea salt?
Yeah.
See, I love the sea salt.
I took a chunk of it. I had to go small.
Yeah. I was all about the sea salt.
There's not enough
was really
sweet.
good though.
Look at the size of the chocolate covered cherries.
There's not enough
They're
sweet.
not
in
as
it.
big as the malt balls.
They are bigger than the giant malt balls.
Those malt balls.
Yeah. Tim and his malt balls. Look at that. Look at that. It's bigger than my thumb. It's huge.
I think these are saltier than anchovies.
No, they're not.
It's so salty.
They are not.
We could probably just find out what this is.
So,
Too salty.
It's a 2X, Casey.
man, these are so
So
good.
they are like John's and me.
2X?
They just got the
I mean,
largest size they could find.
They went safe, I guess.
Yeah, better to be too big than too small.
Of course, if they said it was too small, I'd be like, I'm just going to lose weight next year after I eat all this stuff in chocolate company.
What did they think? Mark works the afternoon?
Ah!
Wow.
I'll be
But I'm
here
just...
probably the same time next week. I didn't know it was a Christmas party. Man, there's a bunch of people when I walked in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they've been...
I had trouble finding a parking spot today.
They've been loud and
Oh my
boisterous, and the
Oh,
"why
God.
didn't you come out and join us" thing happened again.
Oh, you can give me back the box.
Uh,
You just want to like.
I got it. That's fine.
That was good, and it actually had pumpkin flavoring and pumpkin spice.
Yeah, if you
and it
like
wasn't just spice.
pumpkin, you're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
You really will. If you like pumpkin, I'm telling you right now, get these. I just don't like pumpkin candy.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of pumpkin either. But I think you can have one of those or maybe half of them and be like, nah, I'm good. I'm good.
It's the best part of the Christmas party.
You know, it's like when you look at a supermodel and you don't find her attractive, but you understand why people do.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel about that pumpkin cookie. Not for me, but I totally see how somebody would love that.
Yeah, that is a very good analogy.
Yeah, that's just not my thing.
That's too much.
See the sea salt. I love that, dude. I loved it.
Like that's way too much.
But I'm also the guy that downs pumpkin seeds.
The snowballs?
Snowballs are good.
They're like popcorn.
It's popcorn. It's candy coated popcorn. It's great.
Are these the ones that have a little bit of cinnamon in them?
I think so.
Oh man, I remember these.
Yeah, those are yummy.
Oh dude, I'm just gonna take these around.
I had when I got here, I had some of the food out there, and something ain't sitting right with me. So I'm like trying to take it a little easy. I don't know what it was.
Almonds.
Yeah, dude.
I'm not a big fan of this.
A crunchy cinnamon coated treat.
German almonds
I
are
knew I
good.
wouldn't like it. Now I'm gonna have to listen
Those
to where
a classic American mint.
You know it.
those look pretty good too.
No, it's like the layered mints.
I don't know.
Yeah, can I eat one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all want one too?
The only thing that I would ask nobody break into is the cherries, because I'm gonna give those as a present. I got somebody who looks forward to those every year.
I think it's a Snicker. I think it's a Milky Way with peanuts. Yeah. Good line. Good line.
Well, that's better than a Snickers. Have you had a Milky Way?
Yeah, I've had
Okay,
Milky
well
Way.
then add peanuts, and that's kind of what a turtle is.
You want a mint to mint?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm thinking Three Musketeers is just straight good.
Yeah, Three Musketeers. Yeah. So these are the mints. Big old massive chunk of mint.
Like very robust smelling. Like, as soon as I opened the package, it was like,
yeah,
of mint. No, I know that malt balls are literally the worst.
But you said you actually enjoyed
I
it.
like malt balls.
But like these malt balls
I remember you saying that.
are a game changer to malt balls.
I remember
One,
you saying
the size and ratio, because there's actually enough chocolate coating in there that it soaks in once you mix it with saliva to all the chalk you're eating as well.
There's the top to the turtle.
Thanks.
And also these are the mint dark chocolate ones, and the mint dark chocolate ones are the best ones. I don't know if they gave you 2 bags again. Last year they gave us 2 bags.
Because one was cherry, right?
One was cherry and one was mint dark chocolate.
No, everything that we have is in that box.
The mint dark chocolate ones, those are worth eating.
I do remember, because that was a big thing when we had them, because you don't like malt balls at all, and you were digging on those.
It's like eating a piece of chalk. Why would you do that?
I like malt balls. Whoppers are some of my favorite candies. I really do like Whoppers. Like I can't eat.
I dig Whoppers too. Tim is just like, he is so anti-Whopper. It is the funniest damn thing in the
year,
world.
my mom gets me a sidewalk chalk. I get like the 10-pack of sidewalk chalk. Coat it in a little bit of chocolate. Maybe cut it into discs and then dip it in chocolate.
That is not what they taste like.
He hates.
Literally,
Dude, I'm with you.
You know that meme where it's like, tell me the difference. Sidewalk chalk, Whoppers, no difference.
They're not the same.
Find me the difference.
Not even remotely the same. Not even close.
What? Tums taste like chalk.
Nah.
Yeah, Tums are chalky. Tums taste like chalk.
They have the texture of chalk.
No, they taste like chalk. They have no flavor in them.
No.
You tell yourself they have
You're
no
buying
flavor.
wrong Tums then, man.
No, I buy Tums. I buy TUMS Tums, the little weird container shape.
They have innovated since your grandfather was a child, and they make Tums.
I would hope they've innovated since the 30s.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that they're not all chalk anymore. You can still buy chalk. They still sell chalk. But they also have Tums that
No, I bought Tums recently.
that are visually...
And they tasted like chalk.
Then you bought Tums. Buy like Tums smoothies. Now
No!
those...
What? Why? What? I feel like those aren't as effective.
Why?
I don't know.
Just because they don't taste like chalk? What?
don't know. What? I just buy Tums. Someone says go get some Tums. I'm not gonna buy like these weird fruit flavors and make sure.
They're not weird fruit flavors. Tums comes in weird fruit flavors.
It's not like these smoothies. Smoothie sounds like this knockoff. Don't try it.
No, it
Can't
sounds
be
like
good at all.
It sounds like, hey, they've innovated and they don't taste like chalk anymore. They're smooth now.
But they still make the chalk ones. So why? What's the point?
Choice.
The illusion of? Because I'm sure they all still taste like chalk.
One's smooth, one's chalky. There's choice.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I'm your host, Casey Hendrickson. Of course, if you're watching the live stream, you have just watched Joe and Tim battle it out over what tastes more like chalk, malt balls, or Tums.
The answer is Tums.
And it was
the answer is malt balls.
It's Tums.
I have a mouthful of candy, but the answer is malt balls.
Tim hates malt balls. We have been over this over and over and over again. His hatred of Whoppers is well known, far and wide. But last year, when South Bend Chocolate Company delivered their care package to us, they gave us 2 packages of malt balls. One was mint and one was cherry. And Tim enjoyed them both, but he especially liked the mint ones. I like the cherry ones. And if Tim says that he likes a malt ball, then those are pretty darn good malt balls because he hates
the only malt ball I've ever consumed and put a second in my mouth.
And he actually picked them out of the box over there because we didn't get an opportunity to taste test them today. He picked them out of the box. He's like, "Oh, are these the mint ones? Because these are so good."
Good.
And the visible anger on his face when I walk into this room with a tiny little Halloween package of 3 malt balls, they're Whoppers. His whole day is ruined.
I will aggressively berate you for it.
It's true.
Like like you're not even offering them to me. I'm just judging you because
mostly because I don't want to share them because I like them that much. I like malt balls. Anyway, 574-25-95-95-3. Once again, want to thank South Bend Chocolate Company for delivering all that stuff. I just can't get through all of it. It's a massive, massive box of awesomeness in there, and they have one of my favorites in there. The German almonds are in there, and I love those. So go to South Bend Chocolate Company, get all of your treats. Go ahead and send them out to all your friends and relatives. Try to figure out what to get them. Go ahead and get them that if you're going to mail something to them because it's a little regional thing. Plus, it's something that everybody enjoys anyway. So once again, thank you for that. It is open lines. The final hour free-for-all is up and running right now. 574-25-95-95-3. That's 2595-953. Berrien County has a fog warning until 10:30 tonight. Listeners are pointing that out. Thank you very much. So again, Berrien County has a fog warning until 10:30 tonight. And it's been foggy in Berrien County pretty much all day long. Casey, you guys suck. That comes from a diabetic. I think my sugar just went up 200 because of you guys. Happy holidays. Enjoy your South Bend Chocolate Company. And we did. We totally did. And people who are listening to these two bicker over here, those guys sound like my kids. It was a pretty spirited discussion about what tastes more like chalk. But what are you going to do? All right, open lines, the final hour free-for-all. Call about any topic you want. And like I said, there was a lot of news this week, so there's a bunch of stuff that we haven't gotten to yet. Maybe we'll get to some of that before the end of the program today. Ed, welcome to the program. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Hi.
I want to make a comment about the Weekly Standard closing.
Yeah. Yes.
I haven't been so politically delighted since Trump won the election.
That's how happy you are about this.
When I heard about when Bill Kristol came out before the election and stated that he would not vote for Trump, and I'm not sure, but I think he said he'd vote for Hillary before
he did.
Vote for Trump.
Yes.
I canceled my subscription. I've had a subscription for years. And that man is despicable, an avowed conservative, making such public statements like that. I am just so pleased that he folded.
Well, and let's not forget, I mean, he has briefly mentioned that he may want to throw his hat in the political ring. So Bill Kristol may want to run for office at some point. Now, he's got no shot against Trump. I mean, absolutely no shot. But he may run for a lower office, if not for president. Now he's got plenty of opportunity to do so because he doesn't have a job. I mean, he's a pundit now still, but that's not really work.
Well, what political persuasion?
He still thinks he's a conservative. He pretends he's a conservative. But like here's the thing. Crystal has never been considered a conservative by conservatives as long as I have been involved in politics over 13 years. So he is a Republican. He's a moderate Republican, always has been. He has said some smart things in the past, but yeah, the way that he attacked his audience, this is the thing. Like, you can have disagreements with people and you can say things that your audience will disagree with. The moment you actually attack your audience, that's where you are in big trouble. You're in danger of losing your brand. Glenn Beck had to learn this lesson the hard way. Bill Kristol learned this lesson the hard way. Some other publications in the past have had to learn that lesson the hard way. And now the Weekly Standard is gone. And there's some young talent that's there. They'll get picked up by Breitbart and Daily Caller and probably the Daily Wire, maybe even the Daily Signal, some of the bigger publications for the right. They'll get picked up. The talent's going to find jobs. The big thing is that we get to make fun of Bill Kristol, and that's always fun.
Well, now I only wish that George Will would get his too.
Well,
because
yeah,
he's in that same boat.
Yeah, there's it's so weird because the criticism from relatively decent and smart people sometimes. Chris Wallace is like, he makes me pull my hair out. I was telling Brian Kilmeade this. I'm like, what in the world is wrong with Chris Wallace? Because we have seen people who are typically considered very honest and objective say some of the most dishonest things that are so easily disproven. And I don't know if they're doing it under the guise of trying to be bipartisan. I don't know if they still live in this fantasy that everybody has to have polite decorum and the polite person is better than the more effective and better ideological person. I don't know. Maybe it's my military background that, my drill sergeant was a complete and total jerk, but that's because he was trying to teach me something. And I didn't hate him because he was mean and nasty to me. I knew what he was doing. He had a job to do, and there was a reason that he had to do it the way that he was doing it, and I learned. That's all. And it seems like there's a lot of people in the political right that they're like, they would rather have somebody who is a nice communist than a somewhat abrasive free market conservative. And that doesn't make any sense. That's petulant, childish behavior, if you ask me.
Well, I certainly agree. And I had some drill sergeants too that were pretty nasty.
Yeah.
I didn't hate them.
No, good friends afterwards. Yeah. I mean, once you got out, they weren't under your control anymore. They actually became good friends, but yeah.
Right. Well, thank you, Casey.
Thank you so much, Ed. I appreciate it. You have a wonderful weekend. Okay. All right. 574-2595, 95.3. That is 2595-953. And you can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. And like I said, we knew that this was coming about a week and a half ago. We told you that the Weekly Standard was likely going to shutter its doors. Then we mentioned there's several other publications on the left and the right that are not doing so well right now. But the ones that were on the right that aren't doing well are the ones that went left. And the ones on the left that aren't doing so well are the ones that are extreme left. And then you've got the writers at Salon. They're out on strike right now because they don't think that Salon is left enough. And it's like one of the most leftist publications on the internet. And like, you're not liberal enough. Like, are you serious? And again, everybody's just looking at it like, okay, if you say so. So what we are finding is what is really interesting, because we keep saying that our society is so divided right now. We're more divided than we've ever been. Well, the Civil War years might have something to say about that. But we have obviously a rift in the country. And because of social media, the 24/7 media cycle, the fact that we don't have televisions that go off at midnight and play the Star Spangled Banner anymore, and we can continue to watch stuff. We have the documentary industry, which isn't really an industry anymore for documentaries. It's just about actual filmmaking without any special effects or money. But they're telling false stories and that sort of stuff. This is all kind of infecting people's minds. And so there's a mixture of the tribalist stuff, and then there's just people who are confused. They don't know what to believe. The Joe Rogans, if you will, out there. Joe Rogan I like his podcast a lot, but people have made comments about this. If you listen to Joe Rogan, this is a guy who does not have what you would call superior intellect, okay? but he's curious and he's willing to listen to anybody. And that is darned hard to find in the media right now. And so when Joe Rogan is willing to sit down with people of all spectrums and listen to them and ask them good questions, and he does ask good questions, I think, that really does a great service for everybody. But he's not so high on his horse because he knows he's not a super intellectual guy, and he's not running around telling everybody, no, my way's the right way. But also, he's kind of in the squishy middle because whoever is sitting in front of him when he's doing his show, that's the person he agrees with. So you could have a liberal on his show talking about one particular issue one week, and he will agree with that person. Then you'll have a conservative on his show the next week talking about the same issue, and then he'll agree with that person. And then he'll go back and forth because he doesn't really quite know. He kind of sees where both sides are coming from. There's very few issues that he is dead set on that this is what he believes. And he's very good on most of those issues, but at least he's curious, and at least he's willing to listen, and at least he's willing to go ahead and ask people questions and have a forum for everybody of different ideologies to come on. You know, the idea that you can have prominent liberals on a show where you routinely feature Gavin McInnes and Ben Shapiro and others. I mean, that is just an amazing thing because that doesn't happen an awful lot. But the best part is everybody feels welcome there. And so you do get something out of it, even though even people like me criticize him on certain things. But like I said, you're never going to agree with everybody on everything. So we have now gotten to this point where we say that our society is so divided that we can't repair ourselves. But let's look at what actually is happening. Aside from the small percentage of people that, you know, wear trash bags and run around and light things on fire in the streets, aside from them, there's very few people who actually do that. Most of us get along with our neighbors and our coworkers, right? We're not bigots. We're not bigots of any kind. We're not sexist of any kind. We don't care about people's sexuality. Nobody's offended by any of that stuff. All we care about is, one, are you doing your job so I can do my job? And are you a decent human being? That is 99% of us. All right. And it's kind of interesting because Gavin McInnes, and we had Cassandra Fairbanks on the show yesterday from the Gateway Pundit. And I mentioned to her, I said, you know, correct me if I'm wrong. Aside from President Trump, Gavin McInnes could be the most falsely demonized individual in the public square right now. And she agreed with me. You could probably say that Jordan Peterson is up there as well, Professor Peterson. But this is a guy who is portrayed as a white supremacist, a white nationalist. He's married to a Native American woman. His kids are Native American. He's routinely said one of the proudest moments of his life was when his kids didn't realize that they had so many black friends. They were just, why are all my friends' skin color different than mine? And he loved that because he had been teaching them that people are people. Now, of course, we're told that's how I was raised. Okay, that's how people in my generation were raised. Your skin color doesn't matter. People are people. We all bleed the same color, right? Well, now that's racist to think that way. So the people who try to heal that racial divide by saying we're all the same, okay, we're all human beings, we're all Americans, we're all in this together. That's now been flipped to become divisive and racist and bigotrous. Why? Well, because it works. When people see each other as a human being and not a black human being, a white human being, etc., well, then all of a sudden we start seeing those concerns about race, the hatred, it starts falling away. There's no money in us not hating each other. And I've told you before, these advocacy groups, they make a ton of money by telling you that they're oppressed and you need to give them money so they can fight for you. You're oppressed, they're oppressed, give me money so we can stop being oppressed. But they're never going to try and fix that oppression. It's like the Black Lives Matter chapter, who again pitched an absolute fit when another Black Lives Matter chapter had a barbecue with local police. Local police said, you know what? Hey, there's some friction. Let's get together. Let's have a barbecue. Let's talk about it. Let's get to know each other. And this Black Lives Matter group said, you know what? That's a great thing to do. Let's bridge that divide. And National Black Lives Matter criticized them for that. And I think it was the Oakland chapter who came out and said that we don't eat with pigs, we eat pigs. And they're not interested. Everybody objectively should have looked at that and said, hey, they're doing the right thing. They're getting together. They're talking to each other. They're getting to know one another. They can work together now to make the community a better place. And instantly there was pushback against that. Why? Because if you fix that problem, that group can't make money anymore. Nobody wants to invite them on their cable shows anymore. It's like the various interest groups, and I always bring abortion groups into this, and I know that butt hurts a lot of you, but here's the reality of this. If you never want to reduce abortions and you're only interested in completely eliminating them and never saving babies up until that point, all you're doing is advocating for more babies to die. It's just the reality, okay? I get that you don't want any of them to die, but is more dead babies better than less dead babies? If you have to choose between those two things and you don't have a choice of stopping it right now, why choose more dead babies? Why? Because there's money in it. There is a way for groups to say that we need your support because we have to continue to make this fight because so and so many babies die every single year. Well, if that number starts to go down, all of a sudden the media narrative is there's less and less abortions. Why are you guys continuing to fight this? People are naturally gravitating away from it. And it takes away political power, and that takes away income. So, when you look at this, society itself is self-healing. The various interest groups are trying to tear it apart. And now you're looking at these publications, the ones that went extreme, those are the ones that are failing right now. The more centrist ones are the ones that are surviving. So maybe there's a lesson there as you start to take a look at this stuff. 574-25-95-95-3. More open lines coming up on News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
KC Hendrickson, News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. Your breaking news and...
Now that we've consumed a butt ton of candy, let's talk about Nutrition HQ.
I can't tell if I'm about to go into a diabetic coma or run a marathon. I think I might diabetic coma first.
Yeah, Rogan never should have had Tulsi on. Never should have had her on. Ever. That was a big mistake. Right before an election, nope, never should have had that.
Now it's time for the taste of craft beer. Chris's Craft Corner with Chris Turnblow.
Welcome to Chris's Craft Corner. Let's have a beer. Today we're going to have a Great Lakes Christmas ale.
Michiana's news channel. Would you like to talk to Casey?
Great Lakes Brewing Company's seasonal.
What would you like to talk about, sir?
They sell a wide variety of 15 different styles for mass release every year. This is available November, December, 2 months out of the year, and is their #2 seller. They can't keep up with how much people want every year.
Casey,
yo,
today is the 10-year anniversary of when that guy threw 2 shoes at George W. Bush.
Is it the anniversary
today? Today's the 10-year. It's been an entire decade since the shoe throwing incident.
Yesterday was the anniversary of catching Osama, or not, but Saddam.
Yeah?
Yeah. Caught him in his spider hole.
4, 5?
No, it happened under Bush.
Common cold, essentially.
Saddam was caught under Bush.
Yeah.
That's kind of where those
So about a decade, about 10 years, yeah. About the same time, 9-10 years.
All brewed right in together, and what they get on the other side is a beer that is in my personal top 10. Now we're talking fresh whole cinnamon sticks, and they just put
Many U.S. recyclables don't actually get recycled.
So this is a beer again.
I meant to bring that up when we were talking about the stupid Michigan thing at the beginning of the show, and I forgot.
Because, like I said, people can't get enough of it, and it's not.
Ever since China stopped buying paper and plastic, that recycled crap don't get recycled no more. So we got a bunch of people wanting to recycle all of this stuff, but there's no way to recycle it.
Yeah. Alex says that was a good rant, Casey.
Thanks, Alex.
He had no callers. It's like, that's why he was ranting. He had no callers to talk to.
Happens.
Michiana's news channel. Would you like to talk to Casey?
I'm Dan Chrisman. I've been a painter all my life. A lot of the thinking is that
I knew my jaw adjusted.
Spring, summer, fall. But winter.
Chiropractor is a good chiropractor can adjust your jaw, by the way.
The ratings on some of the paints were so high, you probably want to have your windows open and stuff like that. But our stuff that we work with now is 0 VOCs. So winter's a great time to paint. You know, you got the furnace on, it dries quickly. Our lead time is a little bit better in the winter. The summertime, it might be 2-3 weeks.
Why does Pajamagram? Why do they have like the granny jammies, but then the girl trying to act all sexy and seductive on the bed? But they're granny jammies. Like, ain't nobody interested in that.
But like, if she can work it, granny jammies are all you need.
She can't work it, and she's beautiful.
Can I get your name, please?
Because they're granny jammies. They sell lingerie.
I think it's...
Put a girl in lingerie on there, man.
This is daytime television. Children watch this.
So? Kids get the Sunday paper. There's a bunch of bra and panties in the Sunday paper, too. It's like, look, that ain't gonna, no. No. They're granny jammies.
See? It does it for him. You saw that wink.
I know, but it doesn't do jack for him. That guy couldn't get it up with those jammies if he were on the blue pill.
I think
there is no way.
Did you see the smile?
They just showed a nightie, a shoulderless nightie on there that was sexy. They just showed it for a second on their product catalog. You can't put that on the commercial?
Maybe Pajamagram doesn't believe in common marketing practices.
They do it every year. It drives me bonkers.
Because they're trying to sell pajamas.
Okay, so make the commercial.
You pajamas to buy for your children.
I'm not going to buy that for my wife. I'm not going to buy.
You're not the target audience for that commercial.
Yes, I am. I'm the husband. That's who the commercial is for.
No, it's not.
Okay, but like, who buys?
Buy it for your wife. That's what it was. I'm not going to buy that for my wife.
Okay, but you're right. No one's buying that for their wives. They are getting people like you to go to the website. When you see that one little like, ooh, is that a nightie I just saw? Then you go to the website, look for a nightie.
You go to adamandeve.com.
Others, however, are like, hell yeah, I'm going to buy my pajamas from this place for all my
Just
kids.
make the commercial about comfortable pajamas then, not seducing your husband in Grammy jammies.
Oh, anyway, we're going live.
There's two ways you can go with this. Make the commercial about being all cozy and warm and fuzzy and all that.
Alex says brakes are underrated.
It's the dumbest campaign ever. I'm surprised they're still in business, but they did advertise on talk radio for a long time. So there was that. Hey, good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3,
Michiana's news channel. I'm your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-25-95.3. That is 2595-953. And I do want to thank our sponsor, Second Amendment Arms and Range, located in New Carlisle, Indiana. And again, mention me, get half off your range time when you go on out there. They do have a basic pistol class coming up on January 20th. So for more information, go to secondamendmentarms.net. And I had this earlier today when I was talking about the Michigan lawmaker who wants to fine restaurants for handing out straws and also ban all single-use plastics. There's a story at Circa that says that many U.S. recyclables don't actually get recycled anymore because China stopped buying paper and plastic. And so a lot of those recyclables, like paper and plastic, don't get recycled like they used to because China isn't buying them any longer. So when you start banning stuff and trying to push for recycling programs, well, they don't get recycled because there is no customers for the recycled products. Mark, welcome to the program. Good afternoon.
How you doing?
Doing well. What's up?
Well, I want to be gentle how I say this because there's a lot of pain for the people here in northern Indiana. But a young girl, when you're talking about abortions and stuff, it's to the point where a young girl who wanted to keep her child was just murdered by the father of the child.
Correct.
Allegedly. Again, on both sides of the family are heard about it, but this is how the kids are thinking nowadays. Is they hear the adults bickering about it back and forth, and they're sending such mixed signals that it's okay, it's not okay. But it comes down to this: the men don't carry the babies, so they don't have a bond. But the women are actually going through a change in feeling that child grow in them, even up to hold through the whole thing, the whole process. And so they have a bond that they regret later on. I've got sisters that have had abortions that cry at night, and we've had to counsel about them giving an abortion to themselves, having abortions, and down the road. But this young girl, she was basically a martyr. I mean, she died for the right to keep her child.
And I have some questions, and as we learn more about that horrific case, that I think there's a reason that she waited so long to tell him. And
she wanted to keep the baby.
Yeah, and I think she knew that he didn't. So you're absolutely right. Exactly. Horrible situation.
It is.
Yeah. Hey, Mark, I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You take care. Sorry, just up against a hard break. MNC News Time is 5:31. Time to check out Masters Heating and Air Conditioning online at mastersheatcool.com. Masters gets there faster.
This is Michiana's breaking news and weather station.
Okay, drop bottom granny jammies are a different story, yo. That's a whole different ball game.
Okay, so here's the thing. Like, it's not. I mean, like, it's like the level of swag. It's like the level of the swag the female has. That if she can look good in Grammy jammies, Grammy jammies,
Grammy jammies,
granny jammies.
That's gonna be my website, GrammyJammies.com.
Grammy jammies. But like, if she can look good in Grammy jammies, then she's got some swag, and clearly she's worth being.
I agree with that, except they can't. In all of the years that they've been doing it, they can't find a woman who can pull that off. In spite of her clearly being a pretty lady.
She just doesn't have that swag.
Because she's in Grammy jammies. Ladies gotta feel sexy to be sexy, Tim.
Yeah.
Can't feel sexy.
Could be somebody.
They look like they were guys' jammies, man. Like 1980s guys' pajamas. That's what it looked like.
Like drinking whiskey and smoking a cigar before.
Yeah, that guy with like his stupid half slippers.
Yeah. Tall leatherback chair.
Right.
Steady.
The Continental. Yeah, the Continental from SNL.
Yeah.
Animals you didn't kill. Can you say allegedly killed?
Well, he did, but the guy admitted it. It's just semantics because he hasn't been officially convicted yet. But yeah.
Did he hire a lawyer so he can plead guilty? Yeah, have they done that?
I haven't heard that he has his lawyer yet. Because his next hearing, I think, is on the 19th. So they've got to get a lawyer in the next several days.
Because you can't plead guilty.
Yeah, he had no representation.
Lawyer.
So he had to plead not guilty, but it was preliminary.
Not guilty.
Right. Yeah.
Because he ended up admitting because he had a confession, didn't he?
Yeah, he confessed.
So
he confessed to plotting it. Mm-hmm. It's first-degree murder.
Yeah.
And feticide.
It's first degree premeditated because doesn't it qualify as premeditated because he said he had a week?
First is premeditated, isn't it?
I have no idea. I don't know. I'm not that.
Yeah, it's.
So, yeah. If they don't charge him with premeditated, it's like this.
His thing is going to be how to not get the maximum sentence. So he's going to have a lawyer to do that. And some listeners point he'll probably make a CTE argument. He might very well make a CTE argument. That's head trauma from playing football. He's a running back after all. Even though he's 16 and not the starter.
Yeah, that was the point. I think it's pretty good.
Call or visit TemperedRanger.com today. Holiday shopping is like being on a game show.
Party's over. So they probably all went home.
I don't know about that.
We're going to assume.
The last time they had the party here last year, I walked out. There was a whole group of people there, and I ended up staying like an extra hour just talking with them. Like I said, like everybody, you go out there and everybody's like, "Why didn't you come to the party at noon and hang out?" I'm like, I've tried doing the Christmas party sober. It doesn't work. It's just is what it is. The family-friendly game things, just not my scene.
Don't forget.
Yeah, I got it. They when I got here and I went out there, they were doing something with dried spaghetti noodles and they were sticking them through marshmallows like skewers. And I was like, see, I can't do this over. I just can't. I mean, they were really into it, whatever they were doing. I don't know what it was, but I was like, that's not me. Like, I can't do it. The Santa's up in downtown.
They were talking about the Elkhart police get pulled over, and they said someone was firing a gun out the car.
Well, yeah, I don't know if it was out of that car. Did they say that? Because I know that there was a report of a shooting or something.
What I read from the subtitles, it said that it seemed like the gunshots were coming from the car. But I have.
Oh my God, if that's the case. Oh my God. Because I know the article like did not say that, but they said that the officer who made the arrest had been alerted to gunshots in the area. So
but they said the exact same thing you did, Casey. They said that this could not have come at a worse time.
Yeah. It's like,
You wouldn't put a square peg in a round hole. So why would you deploy a traditional
dude, if I'm assistant chief there, I'm just like, that's it, I'm done. I'm not taking over.
And I wouldn't blame him.
No, I wouldn't need it because he's a good dude. But
He seems like a very nice man.
holy smokes, dude. To step into the limelight in the middle of all of this.
Cloud Generation Network or application firewall free at barracuda.com/firewalls.
Are there any drunk chicks at the Christmas party to liven up the stream?
That's where the I think they all went home.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Because I'm
I
on
don't-
YouTube.
I don't know.
I'm just not streaming. I'm just looking at the chat.
They have, so we have multiple buildings here. So a lot of the party is next door too. And that would be where that crowd is. Over there.
All the corporate people.
The corporate people and the digital people.
Corporate, digital, and then all the talents over here.
All the sales and talent over here.
We'll get back in touch with you and answer any questions you have. It's a great way to earn extra income and pay off your holiday bills more quickly. Become a
Alex, I might be a lurker, but I do this so I can interact with you people. I'm trying to be entertaining. I might not be doing a good job, but I'm trying. And that's what matters.
I already told people when I started this thing, I don't sing and dance during the commercial breaks.
You know, we argue about what tastes chalkiest.
That's true.
or
I'm doing so much prep
or
like during the show.
lingerie.
Yeah, like, I do so much prep during the show that I'm often just reading and I'm just sitting here doing this. And I'll go back and I'll watch the stream. I'm like, God, I didn't say anything for like 18 minutes. I get a commercial break. You know, it's just because I'm working, just looking at this. So it's how it happens sometimes.
They don't pay me.
That's right.
They pay me to press buttons.
That was a big thing when we took a bunch of people to Ireland. They're like, so what are you going to be doing on the bus up to Chicago? I'm like, nothing. I'm not doing a damn thing. I'm going to sit down just like the rest of you.
I'm not a comedian. I don't stand up and talk in front of people. I sit down and do whatever the heck I want.
Do I remember when we went to Fort Wayne and John's like, you need to like entertain them on the bus and all that stuff. And so then I was like kind of trying to do it, but the bus driver was like, everybody needs to sit down in their chair. And so then John was like, did you entertain them like on the way down there? I was like, no. He goes, why didn't you? I was like, because the bus driver told me not to. So we popped a movie in, and I just sat there, and that was it, in the front of the bus. And everybody was thrilled.
Your breaking news and weather station. Casey Hendrickson.
Hey, dilly dally do.
95.3, Michiana's news channel. Thank you, Joe. I'm your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-2595-95.3. That is 2595-953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. And if you are like us and you run out and you buy a bunch of candy and chocolates and treats and things like that, and maybe you start to feel like I feel right now, where my stomach is like, yo, probably shouldn't have done that. And you need a good cleanse. Go to Nutrition HQ, 5804 Grape Road in Mishawaka. Walk in there, let them know what you did to yourself, and then they will direct you to the best cleanse for your needs. And then while you're there, pick up some great protein. They have the best tasting protein ever. Are you still doing the glazed donut protein, Tim? You still doing that, or are you on something else?
No, I haven't had any protein in a minute.
Okay.
I need a friend of mine to hook me up.
Tim likes the glazed donut protein in his coffee. And I like the coffee protein because it's actual coffee and it's a protein drink. So you get the caffeine, plus you get the protein, which is really good in the morning because sometimes I'm trying to make a decision. Do I want the protein or the coffee? And if I have both, I'm too full. So if I have the coffee protein, I'm getting both, and then I can go to the gym and I'm okay. Go to Nutrition HQ, 5804 Grape Road in Mishawaka. Mention me, get 20% off. All right, back to the open line phone lines we go. We have John. Welcome to the program. Good afternoon.
Hey, Casey, how's it going?
It's going well, man. What's up?
Well, I was at work today, and I catch your show usually on the way home, catch the other shows on my lunch break. Try to keep up as much as I can. And I talked to one of my coworkers today, and he actually agreed with me. This whole Trump, Russia collusion, digging into his past, now with the whole Flynn thing, and, you know, him pleading guilty, and, you know, they're coming down on him. You know, I threw it by a coworker that's, you know, a few years older than me, and he shook his head. He agreed. And my thought was, you know, we all, you know, the liberals like to take that playbook. They like to dust it off, open it up, and try something they've tried before.
Yep.
And basically, with all this going on, the Trump, Russia collusion, the Flynn thing, all of it, to me, it's almost shades of Ollie North and Ronald Reagan all over again.
You know, you're not the first person to say that to me, because it is the same playbook. You know, they find little tweaks here and there to try and make it seem fresh, but really, when you go back, it's the same thing. You know, it's one of the reasons that we talked about Ted Stevens yesterday, because everything that happened with Flynn and the way that the courts were conducting themselves was very reminiscent of what happened to Ted Stevens when his conviction was overturned, because you could tell that that wasn't a man who was guilty of anything, but he had been convicted because of the way that things were being handled. They were being handled improperly. We know that the FBI handled it improperly. It's not a debate anymore. It's not a discussion. Even if you think that there was something nefarious that happened with the Trump campaign in Russia, even though there is absolutely no evidence of that, even if you think that, you can't deny that the investigation into it is riddled with illegalities and problems. And at that point, if you're going to look at that and admit that, which everybody should, then everything else that has happened has to be called into question as well. You know, they're investigating the inauguration now. They're trying to say that they took money from the inauguration and they used it for private purposes and things like that. Again, no evidence. That's just speculation. And then we find out that right before the inauguration, President Obama may have violated federal law by giving a bunch of classified documents to a bunch of people to try and prove that Trump was involved in some kind of a conspiracy or something. And so now, again, all of the things that they accuse him of, they themselves are guilty of. Oh, did he bounce out of here? Oh, he did. Sorry about that. Well, my answer is the same. It is what it is. You know, it happens routinely. Like I said, every time there's an election, we can tell you what they're going to be accused of, what's going to happen. Okay, so just go back to the primary, right? The three people that everybody knew midway through the Republican primary were contenders, were Trump, Rubio, and Cruz. Okay, all three of them were accused of sexual impropriety. All three of them were accused of a tax issue. Now, none of those issues ended up being true, with the exception of the issue with Trump and having previous relations, which everybody has known for years. Though it wasn't breaking news. It was all stuff that had been established and known. So it wasn't anything weird or unusual there. So when you come into an election, you know that if it's a major election, the Republican will be accused of racism, sexism, some form of homophobia, transphobia. You know, take your pick, all of it. They will be accused of tax issues, and they'll be accused of sexual impropriety, whether that's an affair or a fetish. We know that that will happen. And every single one of those things happened in that campaign to all of the top Republican candidates, every single one of them. Once they started showing that they were going to be at the top of the pack, the DNC and their allies in the media all started doing that. Rubio, at one point, Jeb had some of the sexual impropriety and tax issues alleged against him, but Rubio had an accusation of an affair and tax issues and bad business dealing. Cruz, tax issues and an affair and a sexual fetish. Trump, all of that tax issues, sexual affairs. They were all accused of being bigots. And you had people calling Rubio and Cruz bigots against Hispanics. They're both Hispanic. And remember, we had the whole thing where everybody said that Ted Cruz was racist against Mexicans. He's Hispanic. Okay? And they were calling him in the press a racist white guy. They called him a white supremacist. He's not even white. But this is the thing that happens every single election cycle, every single time. And if they can recycle an old scandal from their playbook, they will. And unfortunately, what you have is you have a lot of the people who have not been involved in politics. Some of those involve younger people. They've not heard these stories before. Look at all of the young people that heard the stories about Bill Clinton in this last election for the very first time. They had no idea what that was really about because they grew up being told that Bill Clinton was impeached because Monica Lewinsky did some favors for him. And that's not why he was impeached. But they didn't know that. They didn't know that he was been accused of rape by several women. They didn't know that he had a history of sexual assault. They didn't understand any of that stuff because they never told. And, you know, it's a legitimate question for somebody to at least look at it when you're trying to make an argument that someone doesn't belong in the White House because of sexual impropriety. And you go, okay, well, that person's husband was accused of raping people. Are they allowed in the White House? Well, they won't be president. They'll be in the White House. But they won't be the president. Okay, so you're saying it's okay for a rapist to be in the White House as long as they're not president. And it's ludicrous. But it's the same playbook over and over and over again. Republicans want poor people to starve. Republicans want to throw grandma off of a cliff. Republicans want to lynch black people. It's the same thing. It was a week or two ago, Joe, I mentioned that when George H.W. Bush died, and I was like, all these people praising him, and they used to call him a neo-Nazi, and you said they called him a Nazi, and you kind of looked at me like, was that real? Yeah. George H.W. Bush was a Nazi, remember that? His whole family worked for the Nazis. When George W. Bush was elected, he was the son of a Nazi, remember that? And now those same people praising George H.W. Bush, people forget that. They've been calling Republicans Nazis for decades. And it's never come true. It's never been true. They've never done any of the evil, horrible things that Democrats say they're going to do if they win elections. And it's because it's tribalist bickering and demonizing. That's all it is. You know, you have people like Schumer who support a wall and then 6 months later oppose a wall because he's not in power anymore. You know, it's perpetually and professionally being opposed to the other side, even if they do things that you agree with. And that's the type of stuff that is so frustrating for Americans right now. 574-25-95, 95.3. More of your phone calls coming up on News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
KC Hendrickson, News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. Your breaking news and weather station.
All right. I'll fix your chat.
They're complaining about it.
Chat is so needy.
I'm just trying to.
That's why I tried to use
the people.
That's why I tried to use the new plugin, and that didn't work.
Damn needy people.
I got like a whole new setup today.
Kind of works.
Totally different companies. Excuse me. Damn, dude, I just got like the hiccups.
Stop everything you're doing right now
No.
and ask yourself, are you currently receiving steady paychecks? What about when
Yeah,
you're retired?
actually.
I am
You know,
not.
because I work.
Cover your expenses
And since
and
I work at a
also
company
have
that I know I can rely on, they give me pretty steady paychecks.
I like to call
Expecting.
mailbox
That's not how paychecks work, Joe.
Or companies.
You're not married, so you don't understand this.
stress from your retirement.
Just because your company gives you a steady paycheck doesn't mean you get a steady paycheck.
Yeah, but that's not what they're implying. That's not what they're implying, Casey.
Mm-hmm.
Find out how to get enough money in your mailbox every month when
Nobody gets mailed their paycheck.
Old people do.
Dude, welfare people don't even get mailed a paycheck anymore. That's all direct deposit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen a. Yeah, somebody was talking about this the other day. It was like, yeah, show your kid their pay stub.
I got a pay stub one time.
Yeah.
When I
Show
was
them the pay stubs so they can see the taxes and watch their face. And I'm like, you don't even get pay stubs anymore.
I got one because I had a meeting I had to go to in March before the holiday season. So I had to actually physically go get a paycheck.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it was like $10. I was like, I'm not going to cash this. I'm just going to hold on to this because like this is cool to have.
Yeah.
So I didn't even go cash it. I just have it. Because it's $10. Like, I don't.
I think you should cash the $10 one. Wait until you like hit the jackpot and get like a 67-cent check or like $1.30 or something like that.
Well, those are always fun. Yeah.
I think the smallest check I've ever received is a little over $1. Like for some random BS, like, oh, you overpaid this. Here's the difference, and they sent me like $1 and change in the mail when I check.
I've had under $1. I've had them send me money in like refunds or like a class action lawsuit, and the money that they sent me was less than it cost to mail it. And it's like, I cash it because I'm an ass, but
yeah, like put this in my account. This is 10 cents. Yeah, I know.
Don't care. Put it in there. I'll work on the new one. I don't know why it wasn't refreshing today. I don't really know what the deal was, but I'll work on it because I liked it too. I thought it looked really cool. A lot cleaner anyway.
Yeah. Color names helped out. I liked it.
We don't ship your equipment out.
So the like 10 minutes I was actually streaming.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I can pause this and not use as much data.
We can even pick
I don't have unlimited data.
Yeah.
Visit
really nice to have
weaveragamon.com
if you run
for
out of
location
data.
information and hours.
And I have Spotify, and I don't like downloading stuff because I like having it with my phone.
I'm that way. I don't do the download thing anymore.
So I just stream.
I get the 32 gig phone and stream everything else.
I think mine's like 60. I think I have a 16 gig phone. Yeah. So like I don't have room to download stuff. A lot like I do, but I don't have room for pictures.
Get a phone with expandable storage.
I do. I have a phone with expandable storage. I'm too lazy to go get a SIM card.
Even the Androids are getting away from that though, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, that's why you buy ones that still have it. I mean, it's just a micro SD card.
I know, but they're being phased out, man. It's driving me nuts.
And then you throw all your music and pictures and movies on the micro SD card.
I have a camera that came with a micro SD card and an adapter. That's what it came. I was like, this is weird. It's like I expected like a full size SD, like a 4 gig, 2 gig, but I got a 16 gig micro SD card. This is insane when I got the camera.
Yep.
Like, this is. And then it came with an adapter. I was like, oh, this is cool. But like, I didn't expect that when I got the camera.
Yep.
Brands for the best you with locations in Granger, LaPorte, and Valparaiso.
Yeah, I hope Rand has a real shot at being president one day. I don't think he will, but I like Rand a lot too.
We got about just under 4 minutes.
Okay.
So you could probably talk to Scott.
Tickets on sale now.
I'll try and be quicker about it. I'll try not to bloviate so damn much.
We're your home for the
Get to the end of a Friday and I just want to chat.
Exclusively on Newstalk 95.3 Michiana's news channel.
I'm ready to go to bed.
Try to turn on the mic this time. People like hearing you talk. That's why they.
Oh, I thought that was your fault. Was that my fault?
That was your fault. You're supposed to turn on your mic. That's how this works.
Allegedly. And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. Once again, I'm your host, Casey Hendrickson. Want to thank R&B Car Company. Locations in South Bend and Warsaw. R&B Car Company are your used car experts. Getting low on time. Make sure we get back to the phone lines here. Scott, welcome to the program.
Hi, Casey. How's it going?
It's going well, man. What's up?
Well, first of all, I wasn't planning on calling, but on the way home, I was listening, and you talked about Bill Kristol.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with him. Who is that?
Well, you're probably going to know him from television. He's a pundit on television, but he's the honcho dude over at the Weekly Standard who is now closing down.
Okay.
If you saw him, I'm positive you would know who he was.
Not Billy Crystal.
No, not the actor. No. This is a political pundit dude. Yeah. Gray hair, kind of smarmy face. Yeah, that guy.
Okay, so obviously he opened his big mouth, and the man that was talking on the radio said he was going to quit his subscription.
Well, he said that he did. Yeah, so he was a longtime subscriber to the Weekly Standard, and Bill Kristol, who ran the Weekly Standard, and again is a longtime political pundit on cable news. He went full never Trumper and just attacked not only Trump but his supporters and the Republican base who was willing to accept a President Trump. He just attacked them. He's been attacking them for 2 years, and now the Weekly Standard is closing, and that guy was saying that he was thrilled that it finally happened.
Okay.
Well, that's what my thought is. Does it make sense? Since Trump's been president, a lot of celebrities opened their big mouths.
Yeah.
Does it make sense to shred him so bad that you don't even want to be a fan of them anymore? For instance, that Samantha Bee.
You're talking about celebrities, doing this? Yeah. And that's...
Why don't they keep their mouths shut?
Well, that's just it.
They fans from both sides.
They've convinced themselves that they're influential and that they have a voice and that people care. And unfortunately, people don't really care outside of their bubble. So it's...
Yeah. You know, like that Samantha Bee, every time I see her advertise on her show, she's shredding Trump.
Yep, she is. Yeah, 100%.
I wouldn't watch her show if they gave me $1,000.
I'm with you, but that's kind of where we're at. Hey, Scott, I got to run, man. I'm just short on time.
Okay.
All right, buddy. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for your patience. Hey, Roger, you only got like 20 seconds, but I wanted to give you an opportunity.
I want to make it quick. I want to let all these Notre Dame people know that these Notre haters have been putting up the signs and the flyers. If you want to root for Notre Dame all of a sudden, you got to wait out a year now, as per NCAA regulations and mine, because you were hating and now we're great. And now we still got to beat Clemson, and I think we have a chance to beat Alabama. We are going to beat them. I think we can.
All right. Roger, good luck on the game, man. Appreciate it. Thank you much. Have a great weekend, everybody.
What if every time you went out, you could cash in? Now with the Capital One Saver Card, you earn 4%.
Waiting for him to cuss, so I'm like, he's gonna cuss, like, right?
I was like, as soon as he started yelling, I went, okay, delay dump button ready to go.
And then I was like, how does the delay dump work at the end of the show? I was like, never had that before.
It should be fine because once we switch over to satellite,
that's what
we
I
don't
thought.
need the delay anymore anyway, so I think it turns off.
Best caller of the day. Go Irish. All right. Hey, folks, thank you so much. I got to bounce out of here, man. I am exhausted. I have been awake all day and doing recordings all day. And then I've got 2 girls sleeping over tonight.
How were the Christmas lights last night?
They were good. They're real good. Yeah. Yeah, they were pretty. Yeah. You can tell it was funny though because you go to the neighbor. There's a neighbor that does the Christmas lights up here, and so we were driving through the neighborhood and there's nobody there. So there's only a couple of cars going through, which was nice instead of having to wait in line. And we were looking and looking and looking, and like somebody was like right up on our tail. So my wife pulled over and they like sped around and she's like, geez, they're going fast. I'm like, they probably live here and hate everybody coming into their neighborhood every single year. And I said, I would bet money that they don't even have any Christmas lights on their house because they don't want anybody in the neighborhood. They pulled right into a house. I swear to God, there wasn't even a porch light on. That house was so dark, it was blacked out. No lights whatsoever. Did not want to contribute. Like,
you know
they
what
were
need?
so mad that we were there.
They need the Scrooge candy cane.
Yeah. They were pissed that we were even there. It was awesome. I guess they raised like $20,000 a year. Just people coming through and then doing donations at the end of it. But Ross died. Aw, poor Ross.
Get an F in the chat for Ross.
Yup.
So I didn't realize.
All right, folks, I got to bounce. Have a good weekend, okay? Be safe.
YouTube Rewind was now the most liked video, but I didn't realize that it dethroned Justin Bieber's Baby. I didn't realize that was the most